And now, who would like a lifetime of perfect health? I'll take it. No, that's not well. That sounds like Maggie.
Hey.
Right here. Now, don't worry.
There we go.
She will be rocked gently to sleep by the stomach acid.
Much better. I seem to have a bit of a delay, but yeah, it's going pretty well. Good. What is up? Hello, Darth Vader 21. Good dog. Oh. Yeah, it is a Q&A for Safari Sam. Well, someone is being very sleepy. Oh, are you a sleepy doggy? You sleepy pupper?
You should listen to him. He's a man of science, and he's a rare breed. Did science ever teach a woman? Like the Super Bowl, but put a man on the moon? This is what I think of your precious science.
AVGN or NC? I don't know what that means. I straight up don't know what that means. North Carolina? I don't know. Yeah, nobody famous would ever be on my show, and it would probably be a pain, to be completely honest. AGG 1954. Oh, angry video game nerd or nostalgia critic? I don't watch either. Don't know anything about either of them. I honestly don't. But oh no, Bruce Willis is like the worst to work with, I hear. Right, doggy? Right, Pip? If I had someone, I'd... Like, if I could have one person on Safari Sam, it would be Jeff Corwin. I mean, he's in my state all the time. I think his show is filmed here. But so yeah, I'd get Jeff Corwin. I watched him a lot as a kid, also. Ugh. That doesn't have anything to do with nature, though. An episode of Safari Sam tries to get it doesn't really make sense. Oh yeah, I just have season 15 on. It's Tree. Oh no, I think this is season 16. I think season 15 ended. This is 16 playing right now, because this is Treehouse of Horror, and those are usually at the beginning of the season. So that's. Yeah, I think this is season 16 playing. Well, an episode where he tries to get Bruce Willis to be on the show doesn't have anything to do with nature. So, like, it's a behind the scenes thing. So why would it? It's not an episode that the character would try to make. It doesn't have anything to do with his show. Yeah, if you don't know, Safari Sam is it was kind of just supposed to be a one-off thing. It wasn't supposed to be a series. I just like did this Steve Irwin impression and like made up a bunch of fake facts about cows. But then all my friends really liked it, and they were like, "You should make some more. It was fun." And then I really liked making it, So yeah, season 16. Episode 2 is starting right now. It's season 16. But, yeah, it's basically just a parody of The Crocodile Hunter. At first, it was just like I would only do animals, but now I'm doing more things. I'm kind of expanding the show to just nature in general. Like the last couple episodes have been on fossils. The one from a couple days ago was plant fossils specifically. And the next one is on animal again, actually. Yeah, I've seen Collision Course, but it's been years and years and years and years and years. I used to have it on VHS. Oh, good dog.
Check it out. On the business terms.
I don't want to buy this house. You have to live next door to my girl. Turn that down. Oh, yeah. Go.
What's with this looking at? We're only here to compare our lifestyle to our neighbors.
Oh, come on, Marge. It's not fair to compare us to an American household.
Oh, it's so beautiful and modern. A Sub-Zero.
I'm so glad we're past the VHS days. They took up so much room, and you had to rewind them, and they would break if you watched them too much. Crazy. I barely remember anything about it. I think, like, was it like a crocodile swallowed like a U.S. government satellite's black box, and Steve Irwin thought the government agents sent to retrieve it were poachers or something? Absolutely just ridiculous, stupid plot. But, Steve Irwin's so charming that you're just captivated the whole time.
Oh, don't do it in the kitchen, sweetie.
That's so thoughtful. But maybe we should make a professional contract.
A contractor? Those guys are the biggest crooks around. They charge for materials and labor. Pick one, jerks.
Yeah, I have a lot of ideas for Safari Sam, especially now that I have a new job. I work at a science and natural history museum now, so I have access to like a lot of fossils and taxidermy and scientific specimens and things like that. Plus, I live in a state kind of known for nature, so I can, go see a lot of nature stuff when I need to and want to, and etc. Oh.
Maybe you should throw them away.
But I need them for the article.
The articles, eh? So, you wouldn't mind if I cut out all the erotic news?
Of course not. I don't want to look at a new woman I'm not even married to. I mean, you know how she could improve.
What kind of adventures has Safari Sam gone on? Well, there's a playlist on the channel. Let's see what's in there.
Thanks, Marge. I can't wait to read about sports
Yeah, so the cow episode is the first one. And oh, doggy. No, 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 you're tangled in the computer chart. There you go, good girl. You wanna come snuggle? Oh, you good dog. Ooh! Ooh! That's the baby. Up! That's the baby. You got to, ah! You crazy. No. Stop. Okay, it's time to get down. It's time to get down. You hurt my chest, okay? You're very big and you don't realize how big you are. Good girl. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, the first Safari Sam was a two-parter because it was uploaded back in the day when YouTube videos had to be like a certain length. Like, YouTube videos for a long time could only be 10 minutes long, and then you had to like apply to be able to upload longer ones. But now you can upload anyone can upload any video length they want now. And then there was a deleted scene from like a goat one that never aired, like an episode on goats. And we just never aired it because the goats wouldn't cooperate. Like they wouldn't let us get close enough to actually make anything visually interesting. So it just never aired, and I just threw up a scene of it. There was one where I kind of just run around in a creek looking for animals and stuff. There was like a behind-the-scenes thing. And there was this really old video I made called Pokemon Safari, which was before Safari Sam. I made it like forever ago. It was before Safari Sam, but it's the same character pretty much. Then I uploaded just a fully edited together version of the cow one. There's a commentary version. There's an episode with like dinosaurs, like animatronic dinosaurs, called Safari Sam Dinosaur Explorer. A couple bonus clips: Safari Sam Sand Crabs, Safari Sam Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo, Safari Sam Dawson Trails Neighbor Center. There's one of Safari Sam touring a zoo inside Zoo Tycoon 2. And then recently, we've had 2 new episodes of Safari Sam go up. We did one on a trilobite fossil. Like, that's kind of a new episode format where it'll, like, be at a desk with a little set, and there'll be, like, a scientific specimen, and Sam will, like, talk about the specimen. Some of the facts will be real, some of the facts will be fake. It's a parody, you know? And then, a couple days ago, one on plant fossils went live. And then we actually have 3 more scheduled to go up. Right now, there's one going up a week. We got one on an animal coming up, and then another one on a fossil, and then another one on a different animal. And then there are several I haven't uploaded. I got a bunch of them to edit as well. Hey, doggy. But today I was actually working on a list full of just new Safari Sam ideas. That the sun's going down and it's starting to hit me right in the face. Safari Sam will never meet Godzilla and Guy again. That's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. A pet shop. The thing about pet shop is I don't really want to. When I make a Safari Sam, I don't want to go into someone's workplace and like disturb the employees and customers. I don't want to be a nuisance to anyone in public when I make Safari Sam. Right? I don't want to bother anybody. I'm not Jake Paul. I'm not just going to go out into public and just make an ass of myself. So I probably won't do one at a pet shop. If I like knew someone who owned a pet shop and they would like let me film it after hours or something, that would be different. But as of now, that's not really a thing that I have access to. He'll never meet Godzilla and Gigan. That's its own continuity. I know they used to be living action figures in like the old Godzilla and Gigan continuity, but they're real kaiju post retcon. So, Yeah, but the cows, Safari Sam cows is one of the best things I've ever made. Ultra Kaiju Brothers. I feel like I just was talking about that on Twitter. Ultra Kaiju Brothers is just on hiatus for the foreseeable future. It just is. I need a lot of room and props, and I need... See, most of my shows don't have to... I don't write most of my stuff on YouTube anymore. The thing about YouTube is, since they, you know... Oh, God, I'm going to have to move if that sun... When that sun starts to get lower. Because the thing is, I don't write Godzilla and Gigan anymore. Godzilla and Gigan, I get like an episode idea, and then Godzilla and Gigan is entirely improvised. Ask G&G is entirely improvised. Safari Sam is entirely improvised. None of it is written. For Safari Sam, I have like a piece of paper or something in front of me with like real facts about the thing I'm talking about on them. But it's not a script, it's just notes, right? Like when you're speaking publicly and you have note cards, and there'll be like just like one sentence or a couple words on the note card, and then you just incorporate that into what you're saying. That's more what Safari Sam is. There's no script. There's no script. So like nothing I do on YouTube is scripted anymore. But Ultra Kaiju Brothers has such a complex story that it has to be scripted. So I would have to write it. Write Ultra Kaiju Brothers. And I have writer's block. I know how it ends, but I don't know how to get there. I had a way how to get there, but then things changed in the story, and now it's like... I don't know. It's just very... Ultra Kaiju Brothers is a lot of work that I just don't have time for right now. Because I'm writing my book, All Dinosaurs Go to Hell, which I'm behind on since I started my new job. I'm working on Safari Sam and stuff. I'm going to start making less action figure videos. I'm going to do a huge video about that later, where I talk about kind of what's happened with the action figure industry and etc. And I'm gonna kind of just be doing less action figure related stuff. But I want to start making more G&Gs. I actually have a G&G that I just made. I just haven't uploaded it yet. I want to focus more on G&G and Safari Sam and less on reviews, you know? I still want to do a lot of reviews on the second channel, but I don't want to do as many reviews on this channel. Like, I want to do more movie reviews, but I want to do less action figure reviews, if that makes sense. Godzilla and Gigan have been real for years and years and years and years. For a very, very long time. Yeah, that's another reason why I'm discouraged from doing Ultra Kaiju Brothers. Hello, by the way, Green King. How's it going? Another reason I've been discouraged from Ultra Kaiju Brothers is because I feel like I'm not going to see anything from the effort. Ultra Kaiju Brothers... Oh my god, look at that sun is killing me. Ultra Kaiju Brothers is the highest effort series I have, and I see nothing from it. And I have 1 part-time job and 3 freelance jobs. That's 4 jobs, amounting to about the work of 2 jobs, because the freelance jobs are each very small. I'm actually doing one of the freelance jobs right now. Whenever you see me in this house with this dog, I'm doing one of the freelance jobs. I'm only here when I'm like dog sitting or house sitting, so... That's one of my freelance jobs. Plus I write freelance as well, and I also work at a school freelance. And then my main job is at the museum with fossils and shit. Shit. It's so bright. I knew this would happen too. When I started the live stream, I was like, fuck. Fuck. But yeah, Ultra Kaiji Brothers just isn't... I have no passion for it right now. And even if I did, I wouldn't have the time for it. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of on hold for a while. But luckily, Safari Sam is what I'm putting the most effort into on YouTube right now. Like, I had to change, because I was doing a weekly podcast. I was doing a weekly tabletop gaming podcast, and I had to change that to... I had to change that podcast to monthly after a hiatus because I just don't have the time to game that much or make the podcast anymore. Right? So it's fucking... It's just whatever. Good luck on writing. To be honest, I didn't really like the original idea of Gigan Jr. and his father lives. I think the story that actually happened when we all give more... I don't know what that means. That's not... That's not proper sentence structure or grammar. I don't know what you're trying to tell me. Sorry. I'm not trying to insult you or anything. I just honestly don't understand what you're trying to tell me. How much does Jerry get paid in helping Sam? Jerry gets paid more than Sam does. I don't know if you saw my video about the return of Safari Sam, but there is a... Yeah, I want to write a Safari Sam book at some point, but it'll be a long time before the Safari Sam book. Before I even start it, it'll be a long time. Because I gotta finish All Dinosaurs Go to Hell. And I haven't written a damn word for All Dinosaurs Go to Hell in a while. I just really haven't. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, I actually would be done with All Dinosaurs Go to Hell by now. Like, I think... What was I talking about? Yeah, All Dinosaurs Go to Hell would definitely be finished if I didn't get this new job. But the new job is like... It's over an hour away from where I live. And then the traffic, like the post-work traffic, is so bad on the way home that it could take me 2 or 3 hours to get home. So, like, I leave first thing in the morning. And then... and then by the time I get home, it's dark. And it's like getting dark at 8:30 here. So... You know, at that point, I'm way too tired. And then on the days I'm not doing that, I'm working at the school. And I'm pet sitting and stuff. Not to mention, I gotta do, you know, all the regular house cleaning and errands and laundry and shit that everybody has to do. So yeah, I've just been too exhausted to write, you know? I feel like if I was writing right now, like if I would write a chapter a night after I worked like an 8-hour shift with 4 hours total of commuting, the chapter would be shitty, right? And I would have to do multiple drafts of it anyways, so why not just wait? But the book is close to done, or at least close to done with this draft. I just have to write the rest of the third act. And then editor has to look at it. I have to do a second draft. And then it's done. So All Dinosaurs Go to Hell is almost done. I want to have the mental energy for it. But yeah, Sam is Like, one of the running jokes with Sam is that he doesn't make shit off the show because the show isn't popular. So he's like, he's oftentimes living in people's sheds or just straight up homeless. But it's like, but the reason it's funny instead of sad is because he's a bad person. Like, Safari Sam is basically Steve Irwin's Wario, right? Steve Irwin knew everything there was about animals. He was kind, he was wholesome. And Safari Sam, like, doesn't know anything about animals. He's really mean to people. Everything he says is either edgy or dark or sad. So, you know, that's that. You said the script I went with, Gigan dying, was more impactful. Thank you! And I'm very proud of the fact that I never brought Gigan back from the dead. Yeah, very, very glad I never brought Gigan back from the dead. I kinda hate it when a character gets killed off in media and they're immediately brought back to life. I think it's the dumbest thing in the world. It's terrible fucking writing. And so now whenever I'm watching a show or reading a book or something and a character dies, I don't feel anything anymore. Because I always expect them to just come back to life. It's fucking stupid. So, usually if I kill a character, that character is fucking dead. And they're not coming back. It's just not happening. Which, yeah. What do I think of John Cena being a movie star? It makes sense. Lots of wrestlers have gone on to act in movies and stuff. Because professional wrestling is acting. That's what they're doing. It's just really physical acting. So John Cena is... When John Cena played Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad, which I have not seen, so no spoilers, when he played that in this, in this big blockbuster film, he was doing the same thing that he used to do in The Ring. Just he's getting paid more now. That's the only difference. It's really the only difference. No, I haven't seen that audiobook. It kind of looks stupid. Yeah, I haven't streamed like this in a long time. I really wanted to do it again. I did a lot of video game streaming recently. Or relatively recently. But I was like, you know what? I feel like doing something more like this. Well, Gamora came back in Endgame, but then she left at the end. So it wasn't really her being brought back to life. It was just time travel stuff. I haven't seen Endgame in over a year, but I seem to remember her exiting at the end and returning to her timeline. So I don't think Gamora's back. Because she wasn't on the ship with them. Because Thor went with them on the ship, and Gamora didn't. Gamora went back to her timeline. So... No, Black Widow's not coming back. There's no way in hell. Or at the very least, Scarlett Johansson's not coming back. Disney will probably avoid working with her for a long time because she sued them. Yeah, if they brought Iron Man back, I'd be pissed. But yeah, does anyone have any more questions about, I actually got all these notes on Safari Sam, if you want to see any of them. So I can actually get lots of fossils and scientific specimens for like 20% off because I'm an employee at a museum. Our museum's actually known for its dinosaurs. We have a Giganotosaurus skeleton, which is really cool. It's huge. Very huge. Fuck, that sun needs to go down. I'm sick of it. But this is the most comfortable seat. This is the best spot to sit. Because other spots in the living room don't have a place to plug my laptop up, for one thing. You know, the TV's right there, coffee table, end table, I can put my feet up. I don't want to move from this seat because it's the best seat. Also, did you guys notice they made Coke Zero red because they want to trick people into thinking it's classic Coke?
There's my 100. Where's my card?
Nice try, you dear. I think you made up a big check.
Nope, it's real. Check out the watermark.
Ah,
Aha! Here's an example.
alright.
Statistic.
What's the next chat? For Safari Sam, what creature do you know a lot about?
Oh, Kentucky is fine.
Well, there are a lot of animals I know a lot about. I grew up on a farm full of animals. I grew up with cows, horses, geese. We had pet geese for a while. Chickens, dogs, cats, etc. I had a turtle most of my life. My turtle actually only died a little while ago.
I win. P-A-R-T.
Huh. So, yeah, there are a lot of different animals I know about. That's why the first episode was on cows, because I had access to cows, and I, you know, but if I had to, like, pick the animal that I know the most about, it would probably be turtles. Turtles are my favorite. I easily know the most about turtles. Yeah, Loki is back. I actually didn't think the Loki season 1 was that great, to be completely honest. It was good, but it just felt so forced because it was like it was very, very obviously just them bringing Loki back because they lost a bunch of female viewers after Loki died. That's the whole reason the Loki show got made. And they set it up to make Loki like one of the centers of the MCU just because he's popular with female viewers, which is fine. I mean, he's charming, he's good looking, you know, he's got that whole kind of troubled guy thing, but deep down, you know, there's goodness there. Like, he's very appealing, you know. But it just felt so forced bringing him back like that. The butt... Oh, Hello Kitty B. The butt chugging... Oh, yeah! G&G butt chugging is a good one. That was actually an homage to Jake and Amir. My favorite web series of all time in the history of forever is Jake and Amir, and they recently brought it back, which made me very, very happy. That butt chugging episode of G&G is actually it's a love letter to Jake and Amir. That's the whole point of the butt chugging episode, is just to be like, hey, Jake and Amir is a huge inspiration. This video is based on Jake and Amir. Thank you. My turtle, like, I'm about to turn 27. And when my turtle died, he was 28. So he was older than I am now. I had him my entire life. Like, I literally can't remember a single part of my life where I didn't have him. Yeah, Marvel doesn't have a lot of good villains MCU-wise. Because, like, everyone says Thanos was a good villain, but he really wasn't that good of a... Like, thinking about MCU villains... Like, there's Loki's a good one, and... Baron Zemo is my favorite MCU villain. He was fucking great. In Civil War, he fucking destroyed the Avengers, and he barely even... Like, he just manipulated them into destroying themselves, and he didn't even do much violent shit. So, like, Baron Zemo, Loki... But it's hard to think of anyone else who's, like, really a good villain. I haven't seen Black Widow, and I haven't seen What If. But yeah, that's enough about the MCU. We're supposed to be talking about Safari Sam and nature and shit.
It's not just presents. Kids don't
Yeah,
appreciate him.
I just said I wasn't going to talk about the MCU anymore. Mysterio was fun because I think Mysterio is a very underrated villain. Just kind of in general. He's often in the comics these days used as a punchline, like he's a joke villain that gets defeated almost instantly, and he's never really a threat anymore in the modern day, and I think that's really fucking stupid because he's a huge threat. Like, he made bug robots that almost took down the entirety of New York and the Avengers in, not the current Spider-Man run, but the one before this one. Nick Spencer? I don't remember. Whoever started writing after Dan Slott. Mysterio's dope, and I liked the kind of modern update they did to Mysterio in the MCU. His motivations and stuff were all, like, shitty and etc. But, like, the visuals in that movie were pretty fucking incredible. They were pretty dope. But once again, that's enough. Does anyone have any questions about Safari Sam? I actually made a whole bunch. I wrote a whole bunch of stuff on. How is Sam with tech? So one of the gags with Safari Sam is that he's kind of just an idiot loser. He's not really good at much of anything. That's kind of his thing. Because, like, here's the thing. Safari Sam has been doing the whole nature show thing for so long, and it's never taken off for him. Which, but if he was good with technology, he could just, like, edit a nature show or something. Or do the lighting for a nature show. Or build sets for a nature show, but he can't. Has Safari Sam encountered a dangerous animal? Oh, yeah. Well, most animals are dangerous. The first episode we did with cows. Cows are dangerous. People don't think about it because they're livestock. But if a cow kicks you, that could kill you. A cow could ram you and kill you. There's this other series that I have that I almost never make just because I feel like it's real polarizing and shit. It's called Uncovering the Truth with Conspiracy Kevin. And I did this one episode where he was like trying to get human milk from cows. I was making fun of Alex Jones. And one of the cows attacked me while I was making that video. Like while it was getting dark, I was being attacked by a cow. And it was really dangerous and I had to leave. But yeah, Safari Sam, like lots of animals, are dangerous. And if you're around, if a cow has young and you're like around, don't even be around that. A cow will just fuck you up. People in sweaters were eating them at a picnic. Pretty wild. Do I have that video? Yeah. That video's in a playlist. What playlist?
Where's your dad on all this? He went out for a pack of cigarettes and never came back. He said, smelling.
Hold on one. Am I back?
Yeah.
I think I disconnected for a sec. I think we're back. Okay.
Here's the money you gave my son. We don't want your charity. I didn't give your son charity. I gave him self-respect. Self-respect? No wonder he came home with his best all button. Like he was somebody.
Anyways, what were we talking about? Yeah, what I was saying was the reason I don't really make Uncovering the Truth anymore is because conspiracy theorists are so widespread and violent and shit now that making videos like that, like, it's not a joke anymore. Like, in January, people tried to overthrow our government because of conspiracy theories. Right? Like, my own mother has almost gone insane because of, like, conspiracy theories. So yeah, the conspiracy theory thing just hits a little too close to home for me now. So I don't really make as much of those videos anymore. But Safari Sam is really good. Like, I've kind of rediscovered my love for it, you know?
What are you doing in my jammies? I'm a new roommate. I bought a farm.
Yeah, it's just kind of whatever. I'd much rather do Safari Sam because, like, nature is something I'm knowledgeable about and all this stuff. Like, I got a lot of upcoming episodes. Yeah. 5G. Fucking wild. But yeah, actually, I actually do have some things I need to... Hold on one sec. So, recently, I did a bunch of polls on this channel. I did a bunch of polls in the community tab on this channel. You can go to the community tab and answer them now if you haven't. But I've actually been working on episodes, because, like, at both of my main jobs, I have a lot of free time. Like, my job at the school, I have, like, a planning period and, like, a lunch break and stuff. My lunch break's actually pretty long, and I get paid for it, which is pretty dope. But, it's like... I have a lot of time in my other job also, depending on what I'm doing for the day, because I work in multiple departments in the museum. But I've had a lot of time to work on Safari Sam because of that. So I posted some polls on this channel, in the community tab, as I said, to see what kind of content all of you wanted me to make specifically for Safari Sam. And some of the results were surprising. Some of the results were surprising and some weren't. Yes, I actually love my job at the museum. I never wake up like, oh man, I don't want to go to work today. Every day that I work at the museum, I'm super excited to go to work. I love my coworkers. The place I work is incredible. It's really great place to work. It really is. But yeah, I guess Safari Sam watches Family Guy and The Simpsons. I like The Simpsons way more than Family Guy. But yeah, so the first poll asked, what objects from nature would you like Safari Sam to make videos of the most? Some of the results in this were what I expected. Some weren't. Like, 0% of people said they wanted to see preserved animal specimens. And preserved animal specimens would basically be like alligator skull, or like a piece of taxidermy, like a taxidermized fox, or maybe like porcupine quills. That would be like a preserved specimen, maybe like something in formaldehyde. No one wanted to see those. 11% of people said they wanted to see live animals, and 11% of people said they wanted to see plants. I didn't think a lot of people would want to see plants, so I'm surprised it tied with live animals. Because I thought live animals would be the second most popular one on the poll. But live animals was the next to last one on the poll. Tied for next to last. Because rocks and minerals got 22%. Which I also didn't expect. I expected rocks and minerals and plants to be the least popular ones. But people want to see rocks and minerals. And I actually do have an old rock collection that I dug out recently. Which is pretty good. I used to collect rocks. So I'm glad I could pull that collection back out. But it's kind of gotten messed up, so none of the rocks are where they're supposed to be, so I have to re-identify everything. And then a whopping 56% of people said the thing they wanted Safari Sam to do the most was fossils, which I was completely 100% expecting. I knew people would want fossils the most. Because prehistoric creatures are a big thing on this channel, you know, dinosaurs, kaiju, like there's a lot of prehistoric stuff here. Huh. So yeah, I knew fossils would be number 1, but I really expected live animals to be number 2. But it was next to last, which was very interesting. Honestly. That was the first poll, though. Actually, I did buy a porcupine quill. Because right now we have a porcupine exhibit at the museum. And they have quills for sale, like shed quills, and I bought some quills for the show. So there actually is going to be an episode on porcupine quills. I bought some porcupine quills for it. I actually really like this episode where Nelson's dad comes back. And then his dad leaves the next episode. I'm not going to do an episode just for treat. I'm going to get to episode ideas in a second, and you can tell me which episodes you do and don't want to see. But I want to finish covering these polls first. Because the next poll was, what type of animals would you like Safari Sam to focus on for now? And mammals and amphibians both got 0%. I wasn't surprised that mammals didn't get any votes, but I actually expected amphibians to be the second most popular one. And it didn't get a single vote, which was very interesting. Next up, both fish and birds each got 13%. By the way, if you want me to turn The Simpsons off, like if that's distracting, I can. I just like having some background noise for my own sanity, because sitting here in silence, like waiting for chats, is excruciating. But yeah, so birds and fish each got 13%. And then, unsurprisingly, reptiles got 75%, which is not surprising at all. It was completely expected. Oddly enough, the chalkboard gag says poking a dead raccoon is not research, which is a pretty good critique of Safari Sam if you think about it. But yeah, reptiles got 75%, so I'm going to try to get some of that in there. I know how much you guys love reptiles. It's another big thing on this channel. Yeah, there are lots of different rocks I want to do. I don't want to do one on rocks in general. I want to do ones on, like, specific types of rocks, you know? Like, I'm going to do bismuth, probably, just so I have an excuse to buy some bismuth. The next poll, though, is which of these would you like to see Safari Sam cover the most? And I just kind of took some non-animal things and made it's basically a poll of non-animal things. Rocks and minerals and fungi tied for 25% each. And then plants got 50%. I kind of didn't know where this one was going to go, to be completely honest. Fungi, plants, and rocks and minerals aren't things that I really expected you guys to be very interested in. But I guess you want plants. So I brainstormed a lot of plant episode ideas. And I actually posted some episodes of some fossils I posted some pictures of fossil specimens and stuff, both in the community tab on here and on Twitter. So you can see those, because this shit's expensive. Because there's this like big prehistoric crocodile jaw fossil that's like $150, and then like an alligator skull is $90. Etc. But that's it for the polls. Here's the thing. I'm going to turn some lights on real quick because it's starting to get dark and I need to be able to read this paper. I'm also going to go get another drink, so I'll be right back, okay?
Tell me I'm lying. Well, I'm thinking it, and so are all my friends in the local media.
Chloe Talbot, Local News Network.
Oh, seems a big shot reporter from some major news outlet isn't satisfied.
Well, it is a local news legend, Kent Brockman. Hey, Kent, remember any more pedestrians?
Looks like her favorite.
She's from Springfield. I told her in high school. I didn't think anyone successful came from Springfield.
Well, that makes you headed good.
Technically, he was born in Shelbyville.
Yes, but he came here to die.
Oh my god, the teens seasons of The Simpsons are so fucking funny. They're so goddamn funny. He's from Shelbyville. Yes, but he came here to die.
There is a
Whew.
trouble, and the local newsman is telling our thieves.
Channel 6 News rocks. A car chase every night. Or the
Whew.
girl wears a truck top. And if she does it, you win a pizza.
This show's great. Okay, so what were we talking about? Safari Sam. God, my hair is so fucking long. As soon as it's... I'm thinking of... The reason my hair is so long is because I'm thinking of donating it. So, we're going to see how that goes. Gee, I got a lot of episode ideas right here. So, I want to do an episode on a mosasaur jaw fossil. Quote-unquote jaw fossil. Because there's actually a lot of fake mosasaur jaw fossils out there. And I kind of just want to buy one and do like a big episode on how to tell fake and real mosasaur jaw fossils apart, and etc. And why specifically mosasaur jaw fossils are fake and exist like that and stuff. I want to do an episode on that. And then I got some ideas for other mosasaur episodes because I can get mosasaur fossils pretty easily. Like I got a couple different mosasaur fossil ideas. I don't want to list them all, but several different ones. There are a couple different types of fossilized coral that I can pretty easily get my hands on for episodes. Fossilized sand dollars. Fossilized dinosaur shit is actually something that I have access to right now. As well as fossilized prehistoric turtle shit also. I can get dinosaur bone fragments pretty easily. It's a little expensive, but I can get a red ammonite. It's a little expensive because it's a red ammonite. Aunt Dougie. No barking. She just sees a squirrel outside or something. But yeah, a red ammonite episode I think would be very good. And then God, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Goniatite, which is it's like a more specific ammonite. I can't pronounce it. It starts with an O, but a fossilized squid. There's a type of fossilized squid that's pretty common. I want to do an episode on bismuth. There's this flower fossil we have at work that I would like to do an episode on. It's a chrysanthemum specifically, but it's like a perfect fossilization of a chrysanthemum, and it's beautiful. But it's like $42, which is so expensive. If you want to support Safari Sam, follow us on Patreon, because Patreon money doesn't go to reviews. Patreon money goes to like Safari Sam, G&G, Uncovering the Truth, Ultra Kaiju Brothers, Ask G&G, things like that. Thank you. Yeah, I got a lot of Mosasaurus episode ideas. I want to do an episode on crab claws. I already have some crab claw specimens that have been in my collection for years that I can use. They're not very good ones, but I have them. I have a few shark teeth in my collection I can use for a shark teeth episode. I recently got a clam fossil. Someone in my family was like, "Hey, if you buy a fossil, I'll give you money for it as your birthday present," because my birthday is like in a few days. And I was like, "Sure," and then I bought it and they never gave me the money, so I kind of just bought my own birthday present. Yeah, I could just do like a single Q&A Safari Sam episode. I think that kind of makes sense. If you're asking him stuff as if he's a real person. That being said, I feel like that episode, I can't do an episode like that unless the show gets a bit more popular. Because like I can do Ask G&G because G&G, each episode of G&G easily gets 100 views or more. You know? But each episode of Safari Sam gets a little over 10. Or at least that's what the new ones have. So not really exactly what I'm looking for right now. If the show can take off, I don't think that the show is going to be popular enough to make me money or anything. I don't even really want to make money off YouTube. I kind of just enjoy doing it. I don't need to monetize all of my hobbies. Was it nice when I was monetized? Yeah, but it didn't change how I did anything. And I'm still going to curse. I'm going to say fuck, shit, and all that stuff. Like, you can't stop me. Well, they could stop me, but I'd rather not be monetized than censor myself, is what I'm saying. You know? You know what I mean? So yeah, I got a clam fossil episode that I'm working on. I already told you guys I was going to do an episode on porcupine quills because I got myself some porcupine quills. I want to do one on like a Dalmatian rock, pyrite, which you might know as fool's gold. I want to go to the Atlanta Zoo and film an episode. It's a very big, famous zoo. I actually used to work like down the street from the Atlanta Zoo. When I lived in... Yeah. So when I lived in Atlanta, the film studio I worked at was like down the street from Zoo Atlanta's parking. I worked very close to the zoo, but I only went in once while I lived down there. So yeah, I want to do an episode at the Atlanta Zoo. I was going to film an episode at the Georgia Aquarium next week. I was going to film Safari Sam at the Georgia Aquarium next week. Because next week is my birthday. And you get into the aquarium for free on your birthday. You show them your license, and if it's your birthday, you can get into the aquarium. No cost. It's awesome. You got to pay for the extra paid attractions, and you still got to buy stuff at the gift shop if you want anything from the gift shop. But a general admission is free on your birthday, which is really cool. But I was supposed to work half a day on my birthday, and then they changed it to a full day. So now I don't have time to go to the aquarium. So that episode is on hold for a bit. I want to do an episode on horses, but sadly, most of my horses are gone now. That's kind of the problem with that episode. Because, you know, one of my horses gave birth recently. But when she gave birth, she didn't release the afterbirth. You know, like the placenta. So it stayed in her body and gave her sepsis, and it like poisoned her and she died. So one of my horses died, and then the new baby horse that she had, we had to give it away. Because I've raised an orphan like calf before. Like, you can raise an orphan baby cow pretty easily. You just bottle feed it 2 or 3 times a day. Make sure it has good shelter and water and hay to lay in and solid food when it wants to start eating solid food. Well, you need to make it eat solid food, but still. But a baby horse, You gotta bottle feed a baby horse like every hour or two. They eat a shit ton, and I can't do that. It basically has to be your full-time job if you're gonna do that. So we had to give it away to someone who had a horse that was nursing, just so it could survive. Because the horses aren't, they're not like the cows we have at home. They're not livestock. They're just pets. So we just had to do what was best for the horses. So, I mean, I guess I could see if my brother would let me use his horses, but my horses, I can't. One died and I had to give one away. So, I got like one left. Not good. And then I have I have 2 other episodes that I don't want to reveal because I think they're really funny ideas and I kind of want them to be a surprise. So I don't want to give you the titles of those just yet, but you'll see them. They'll be really good. And they're ones I can do soon. I haven't seen Bad Boys for Life because I haven't seen Bad Boys. I don't watch a lot of cop movies. So I already did an episode on the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo, but I want to do a second episode on the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo because it changed locations. The Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo used to be by a putt-putt area in Gulf Shores, and they kind of moved it to down near the Target and the Outlet Mall and movie theater and stuff. So the zoo is in a brand new location. So I want to kind of do a second episode at that zoo at the new location. You know? That's the zoo where I made the vlog where I was playing with baby lemurs and there were like baby lemurs crawling on my shoulders and stuff. But that zoo is also known as the little zoo that could. I don't know if anyone here used to watch Animal Planet a lot back in the day. But Animal Planet used to have this show. It was a documentary series called The Little Zoo That Could. It was about a zoo that was kind of destroyed in a hurricane. And it was about them trying to rebuild the zoo and recapture all the animals. Because all the animals were just running around Alabama because all their enclosures were destroyed. And some of them were like dangerous animals. It was a fun show. And I grew up going to that zoo every summer in Alabama when we'd go on family vacation. But yeah, that's the zoo. So I would just want to do an episode on the little zoo that could again. And then there's also a zoo kind of on the way to that zoo called the Montgomery Zoo, which is a much bigger zoo. No, I didn't see We Bought a Zoo either. But I know what it is though. I kind of want to do an episode on the Montgomery Zoo, but I'd really have to go out of my way to do that one. Like, I'm going to need some Patreon subscribers if I want to do the Montgomery Zoo episode. I want to do an episode at the Noah's Ark Animal Sanctuary. That's one I can do for cheap. I think you can even get in for free. I think it's donation run. Yeah, Matt Damon's really fucking talented. He's a great actor and a great writer and shit. Like, he's really talented guy. And then I want to do an episode on Georgia plants. You know, I live right next to a forest, so I can do a lot of stuff in a forest. So I want to do one on Georgia plants, like the Bradford pear tree and, you know, our 3 poisonous plants and etc. There's a place called Cheehaw Park I want to look into. It might be like a botanical garden or a zoo or something that someone mentioned to me. So I need to research that, see if it's worth it. Flint River Aquarium is a place that's relatively close to me. It seems to be like a kind of small aquarium. And then there's the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, which is a place just full of plants. And then the State Botanical Garden of Georgia, also full of plants. I think students can get into the State Botanical Garden for free. So I'm going to try to do that one before I graduate, because my last semester of college starts Monday. I would have graduated a year and a half ago if not for COVID, but now I'm finally going back to school. So I just got 1 semester left, and then I graduate. And I'll be a scientist. I'll be a real scientist. I'll be a thanatologist. I'll be a real scientist after this last semester. It'll be great. I want to buy some, like, you know those fossil dig kits you can buy, and they give you little tools and you dig out fossils. Yeah, I want to get some of those and do episodes on those, where we like dig up the fossils and then we identify the fossils. I think that'll be real fun. Hello, Mason Reyes. Yes, I am back to streaming this way. I did a lot of Twitch streams recently, but I kind of missed streaming like this, so I wanted to do some more of these. Especially since Safari Sam is back. Oof. I also want to do an episode where we dissect a bunch of owl pellets. So basically, I want to buy an owl pellet dissection kit, which just comes with several pieces of owl shit, and then dissect them and pull out and identify all the bones. Like identify all the rodent and lizard bones and stuff from when the owls ate. Oof, I tooted. I think I want to do an episode on breaking open geodes. I just want to buy like 10 unbroken geodes and just break them all open and talk about geodes. I think that would be a really cool episode. Or maybe an episode where we break open just one giant fucking geode. You know? I think that would be fun. I want to do an episode where we examine amber insects. Like insects trapped in amber, like in Jurassic Park. And then I also want to do an episode where we like polish and uncover amber insects, kind of like as a sequel to that episode. Because National Geographic, you can actually, from them, buy unpolished insect amber. So it's like you can't see the insect inside until you like polish and cut it and stuff. So I want to buy some of those. I want to do one on a Dilophosaurus skull, a Deinonychus claw fossil, a Velociraptor claw fossil. I can't find my Velociraptor claw fossil. I used to have one. I don't know where it is. I gotta get another one. But mine was tiny anyways. I want to do one on a Utah Raptor claw fossil, Allosaurus claw fossil. I want to do one I want to do one on like pond ecosystems, because I have a pond on my property, and that's one I could very easily do. I want to do one on creek ecosystems. My raptor claw fossil wasn't a real raptor claw fossil. It was a reproduction. It was about that big. Yeah, the Utah Raptor one would be, I guess, just Utah Raptor sized claw fossil. I don't know. It would be the real size, you know. I want to do one on petrified wood. Did I say creek ecosystems? I think I did. And since you guys voted that you wanted a lot of fossil episodes, I also wanted to do an episode on how fossils are made. We have this cool little like clay sculpted exhibit in the museum I work at on how fossils are made. So I think that would be a cool one to do. I want to do one about bird watching in Georgia. You want a fun fact? A fun behind the scenes fact about Safari Sam? So the hat I wear in like the Safari Sam Cows episode and stuff, I actually won that hat at a bird watching competition. Yeah, so the Safari Sam hat I won at a bird watching competition. Yeah, that's where that hat came from. So I actually got that hat bird watching. Which is pretty cool. I don't know if I've seen Dinosaur Planet. I've seen a lot of dinosaur shit. Favorite movie of 2021? I didn't see a lot of movies this year. I think I saw, okay, my favorite movie of 2021 is A Quiet Place Part 2. It was a fantastic film, and I need to make a review of it. I, planned and prepped a review, and then I never shot it. I saw it in theaters. It was a fucking amazing film. A Quiet Place 2 was way, way, way better than GVK. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, Utah Raptors are pretty cool. There's actually a Utah Raptor in the book I'm writing, All Dinosaurs Go to Hell. It's in the first act. It's very early on in the book. But yeah, so I want to do a Georgia bird watching episode. I want to do a beach ecosystem episode in Alabama. I used to go to Alabama a couple times a year, like just kind of on little vacations, but I haven't been able to do that recently because of the virus, and also hurricane like destroyed the area I like to stay in as well. I want to do one on Alabama plants. I want to do one on Alabama bird watching. There's a bird watching like trail in Gulf Shores that I really like, so I want to do bird stuff there. I want to do an episode on just like I have access to a lot of taxidermy birds from Georgia, so I want to do one on that. Yeah, I really want to see The Suicide Squad. I probably won't see it till it's on Blu-ray, though, so no spoilers, please. I want to do an episode just on the entire natural history of Georgia. Like, a huge fucking episode on the natural history of Georgia. All the way from, like, when life started to now. Like, just a huge fucking episode. I want to do an episode on the biggest land animals ever, because the museum I work at is actually famous for having the skeletons of the biggest land animals ever. So I want to, shoot a Safari Sam with those. Obviously, I can't shoot Safari Sam where I work. Like, I'm not going to dress up and go act a fool in my workplace. But I am going to, get footage in my workplace and then, put a voiceover on it. I already recorded a couple episodes where I do that, and those will go live at some point. What else have I been thinking about doing? An episode on different types of shells. I actually have a couple different episode ideas about shells. I want to do one on Antarctic dinosaurs. If that makes sense. It's hard to explain because I don't have access to the materials yet, but you'll see. I want to do one on the leopard skin rock and the tiger eye rock. I want to do woolly mammoth mastodon tooth fossil episodes. There was a place called the Whimsical Botanical Gardens I was looking into, but I don't think I'm going to do an episode there because it doesn't really look like an educational botanical gardens. It kind of just looks like a place to... It just looks like a place to hang out. It doesn't look like an educational thing, so I probably won't do one there. I was going to get a saber-toothed cat fossil, like a Smilodon fossil, but someone bought it before me, so I need to find another one that's, reasonably priced. And then I'll do it. But yeah, also Ceratosaurus skull fossil, a Nidia fish fossil. I want to do an episode on petrified lightning. Here's a really cool science fact. Sometimes when lightning strikes in the desert, it'll turn the sand to glass. It'll turn a sheet of sand to glass, and then that glass can petrify and it becomes a fossil. So you can get fossilized lightning, and I want to do an episode on that because it's one of the coolest things in the world. All right, super dope. I want to do one on the megalodon tooth. We got some megalodon teeth at work. I want to do one on Nanotyrannus hand claws and foot claws. I want to do some on Acrocanthosaurus hand and foot claws, a Megaraptor claw, a Spinosaurus tooth. You got a Spinosaurus tooth at work for $50, which I know is expensive, but it's Spinosaurus, one of the coolest dinosaurs ever. The only aquatic dinosaur we know of. Also, one of my favorite dinosaurs is Therizinosaurus. I love Therizinosaurus. And I want to do one on the Therizinosaurus claw fossil, like just a huge fucking Therizinosaurus claw. That would be fucking awesome. Iguanodon thumb spike, Oviraptor fossil egg, and then I want to do an episode on sea monsters. Not like fictional sea monsters. I mean like giant squid and sea monsters that we've actually like, holy shit, they're real. You know? Want to do one like that. And then I had some other kind of episode ideas that I'm not sure I want to do, so I don't want to mention them and get anyone's hopes up, because I think I might not do them. But yeah, I also kind of I want to try to maybe find people that have like some interesting like pets and stuff that'll let me make Safari Sams with like their iguanas and shit. Maybe put an ad on Craigslist for people with exotic pets, and see if they'll let me make videos with them. I don't know. But yeah, that's just a lot of the Safari Sam episodes that I have right now. Ideas. And every episode... Okay, so every episode I just read to you, these are all episodes that I could possibly do. Like, every episode I just mentioned is one that I could realistically do. Like, I didn't write anything down that would be impossible for me to do. Like, because the number one thing on my bucket list is see Sue the most complete T-Rex. But that's not going to happen anytime soon, because it's like a lot of travel, and it'd be very expensive to go see Sue. So the reason that's not on the list is because I can't feasibly do it right now. But I can feasibly do these, you know? I could feasibly do these. So let's catch up on the chat here. I haven't really been watching the chat. Fast and Furious 9 was the worst movie of 2021. I've never been able to finish a Fast and Furious movie. I don't think I've ever gotten more than 10 minutes into one before quitting. They're pretty fucking terrible. If you were making a documentary, who would I want as a narrator? I would just narrate it, because I wouldn't be able to afford a narrator. I would just narrate it. I was actually asked by Hunchback Entertainment and director Lionel Jeffries to narrate like a deep sea worm thing for Deep Sea Oddities. And if you should subscribe to the Deep Sea Oddities YouTube channel, it's really cool. It's just a bunch of videos about these weird fucking animals that live in the ocean that nobody ever talks about. Yeah, and it's a big channel. They got like a YouTube play button. They were featured on the Joe Rogan podcast, the most popular podcast in the world. It's a big channel. It's a dope channel. They asked me to record an episode for them to do the narration, and I did like a year or two ago, and it never aired. They never aired it, and I don't know why, because the director Lionel Jeffries is a personal friend of mine. We knew each other before either of us even started working in film. I don't work in film anymore. I just do it as a hobby. I kind of hated working in film, to be honest. Glad I don't do it anymore. But yeah, I have narrated a documentary before, and it just never aired, which is very weird. I don't know why everyone wants to talk about the MCU on the Safari Sam Q&A, but honestly, I'll talk about anything. It doesn't really matter. I'm actually pretty excited for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. It looks like a really cool update to the character of the Mandarin. There was a spoiler about a villain that appears in it that someone showed me, and I was like, why the fuck did you show me that spoiler, you absolute moron? Why would you think I would want that spoiled for me, you dumb twat? Shang-Chi looks dope, because it doesn't look like a superhero movie. It looks like a martial arts movie. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but the MCU is trying to make non-superhero movies now. Because, like, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are space operas. They're not superhero movies. And Guardians of the Galaxy is, like, one of the most popular ones. Loki was a romance, time travel sci-fi show. WandaVision was, like, a weird mystery. It wasn't a superhero show. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was, like, a freaking war drama. It wasn't really superheroes, you know. Black Widow was kind of marketed as a spy movie and not a superhero movie. And then we got Shang-Chi coming out, which is being marketed as a martial arts film and not as a superhero movie, which I think is really cool. Because fucking I'm kind of sick of superhero movies. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of fucking sick of them. I'm not sick of comics. You know, I don't think I'll ever really be sick of just comics. But superhero movies, I'm fucking exhausted with superhero movies. I don't want to watch anymore. But Shang-Chi looks dope. I'm not gonna lie, Shang-Chi looks really cool. Jason Statham versus The Meg. The Meg sucked. I hear it's getting a sequel, though. I kind of want to read and do video reviews of the Meg book series, though, because the Meg is based on a series of books that actually look pretty dope. They're on Audible. I think I'm going to listen to them and review them on this channel. Edward Norton is Bruce Banner. I don't really care who plays Bruce Banner, to be completely honest. Whale Teeth, the problem with whale teeth is that unless they're fossils, it would kind of be hard to acquire them ethically. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't want any animal specimens that I feel like were acquired unethically. Because, like, you can get a preserved octopus specimen for a pretty affordable price. There are several of them just like on Amazon. But I don't want to get an octopus specimen because, like, I actually stopped eating octopus even though it's delicious because octopi are like way too smart to eat and shit. They're super intelligent. I wouldn't eat an octopus for the same reason I wouldn't eat a dog or wouldn't eat a dolphin. You know what I mean? Just because they're smart and like capable of showing real emotion. You know? Huh. So yeah, I feel like if I got whale teeth, they'd probably have been acquired illegally at some point, like from whaling in Japan or something. I don't want to be a part of that. Do you want a link to Deep Sea Oddities? Let me find one. Deep Sea Oddities. Yep, there's one.
Yeah, well, show me the alley of years, jerk.
Oh, I see what's going on. You can't stand to be around a guy who's got total financial independence.
Writing's not that easy, but
Writing's not that easy.
I'm pathetic. Did I take money from my 10-year-old son? Well, let me tell you something. I still call the shots around here.
Okay. Yeah, so here's a link to Deep Sea Oddities. It's a good shit. Lionel Jeffries is, like, he knows what he's doing, you know? And honestly, it's just fucking interesting as hell. It's just interesting as fucking hell. So yeah, here, I'm putting that in the chat for you. There you go. That's the Deep Sea Oddities channel. It's really dope. Tell him B3 sent you. Yeah, tell him B3 sent you to the channel so that he'll post that worm episode. Yeah, I kind of don't like modern movie trailers because they're so spoilery. Like GVK showing the axe absorbing the atomic blast and showing Mechagodzilla in like the reflection in like sky and stuff. Movie trailers need to chill the fuck out. I think that each I think films should release one trailer and that's it. One trailer and no more. But films will have like a teaser trailer for the teaser trailer, right? So there will be like a 2-second teaser for a teaser, which is absolutely ridiculous. And then you have the teaser trailer, which is often like dialogue-less or just one tiny little clip. And then you have the regular trailer, like the actual first trailer, even though it's actually the third trailer. And that one's usually pretty good. It usually doesn't have any real spoilers in it, you know, gives a good idea of what the film is about without being spoilery. But then they'll release like 4 more full-length trailers, and they're full of fucking spoilers. Trailers just need to chill the fuck out. They just need to chill the fuck out. They really do. I wouldn't even call Logan a superhero movie, to be completely honest. I really wouldn't even call Logan a superhero movie. I would call Logan like... I would call Logan a dystopian future movie. I wouldn't call it a superhero movie. Okay, so Darth Vader 21 says, I heard that Tim Roth was originally going to direct The Meg, but then got fired because he wanted the movie to be rated R. Yeah, the thing about lots of big blockbusters and stuff is, whenever someone makes a big blockbuster, the studio almost always wants it to be PG-13. Because PG-13 gets the most people in the seats, right? If you have a movie that's G, no one's going to go to see it unless they have small children. If you make a movie that's PG, it's still mostly just going to be families. If you make a movie that's NC-17, theaters literally will not play it. Like, that's why you never see NC-17 films, because theaters won't even play them, because they know no one will go to see them. Rated R movies are almost exclusively adult, and they should be exclusively adult. That's kind of the point, but that means you're not selling tickets to teenagers or children. But PG-13 movies, lots of parents will take small children to PG-13 films. Teenagers can see them without adult supervision, so like 16-year-olds can drive to the theaters themselves for dates, and they're mature enough for adults to enjoy as well. So PG-13 tickets sell the most, which is why they're like that. But to be honest, The Meg didn't really need to be rated R. I don't think being rated R would have made The Meg a better film, you know? Because, like, it would have just had some more gore. That wouldn't make it a better film. And also, when you're making a movie about a shark that's so giant it could swallow a human being and not even really notice, then there's not going to be a lot of gore realistically anyways, you know what I mean? Yeah, so when movies come out, I often just watch, like, the first trailer, maybe the teaser, but I don't watch anything past the first trailer. I kind of don't. But I do want to say, it's hard to avoid it, though. Because, like, if you go to see something in theaters and you get there before the trailers finish, you're going to see some of those trailers. And then people are going to take screenshots of the spoilers from the trailers and just post them on social media. So if you're scrolling through Facebook or Twitter, you're going to see the spoilers even if you don't watch the trailer. That's kind of the fucked thing. You know? Yeah, I kind of agree with you on The Expendables. The Expendables should have all been rated R. Now, I'm not going to lie. I never watched a single Expendables movie. unless it's sci-fi or horror. Hold up. I think the stream just cut out. Can you still see and hear me? Because it just said the stream cut out. Yeah, so the Expendables were homage films to 80s action movies, right? The entire point of the Expendables was just to be like, hey, look at all these fun 80s action movie stars getting together, right? Yeah. The Expendables is the same thing as Pacific Rim, but instead of being for kaiju and mecha, it was for 80s action films. But the thing about 80s action films is they were all rated R, like very hard R. You know, they were full of sex and drugs and gore and language. The 80s were like fucking crazy. They were fucking crazy action films. And if you're gonna make a film series honoring those films, then it needs to be rated R like they were, you know? Otherwise, you're kind of just, the point is lost. You know what I mean? Oh, excuse me. I don't think, you know, it's just... Yeah, I'm just not big into action movies unless they're sci-fi or something. If an action movie isn't sci-fi, I'm probably not going to watch it, honestly. Which is why I haven't watched, like, a lot of the Fast and Furious, and I haven't watched, like I've never seen a Rambo film. Because I kind of just, like, don't care. I just, like, I don't give a shit. The most recent one, like, On the Farm, I thought actually looked really cool, but I still didn't see it. Huh. Yeah, PG-13 movies only get one non-sexual use of the word fuck. Like in Alien vs. Predator. Like when she says, I hope it kills every fucking one of them. Okay, first off, AVP should have been R. AVP should have been rated R. It just should have been. But yeah, so if you say, like, I'm gonna fuck your pussy, you can't say that in a PG-13 movie, but you can say, I'm gonna fuck you up, like you're gonna beat someone up in a PG-13 movie, but you can only do it once. And it's like, if it's okay to say it once, why isn't it okay to say it multiple times? Like, you can say shit in a PG-13 movie. You can say dick, but you can't say fuck. That's fucking stupid. Yeah, I hear Bruce Willis is actually one of the hardest people to work with in Hollywood because he's just mean to everybody on set and is like super selfish and narcissistic and everything has to be done his way or he threatens to quit. He's just that way on all movie sets now. I don't think Bruce Willis even enjoys making movies anymore, really. I think he's just doing it for the paycheck and he's pissy about it. And it's okay to just do it for the paycheck. That's a perfectly legitimate reason to do a job, you know? My job at the school is excruciating, but it's a paycheck, you know? Yeah, I curse like a fucking sailor in Safari Sam. I think I even said cunt in an upcoming episode of Safari Sam. I was editing an episode the other day that I said cunt in, and I was like, should I leave the scene where I say cunt in the episode, or should I remove it? And then I was like, no, I'll leave it in. Yeah, just like I don't care about language and shit. I'll say whatever, which is the main reason I'll never be monetized again. Like the reason that they demonetized me during the ad apocalypse is because they changed the monetization rules. Like they changed it to where you had to have like a certain number of subscribers and watch time. And on this channel, because I had 4 monetized channels before. Because this channel was monetized and the B3 Productions channel was monetized. So this and the second channel. And then Super Friends Benefits was monetized. And the Slender Happening was monetized. They were all monetized. And then YouTube demonetized all of them. This one had enough subs, because to be monetized, you have to have, like, what is it? You have to have 1,000 subs and a certain number of watch hours. Let me look it up right now, actually. I'll look it up on YouTube Studio. Yeah, you have to have, like, a certain number of watch hours, and I'm not even close to the watch hour number, I think. I don't get a lot of views. I mean, it's fine. I make it for fun. Honestly, as long as 10 people watch a video, it was worth it. Right? Okay, so here's what you have to be monetized. You have to have 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 public watch hours a month, I think. Or maybe it's... Yeah, it might be monthly. And you can't have any active community guideline strikes. So I have 3,750 subscribers. So I got plenty of subs. But I only have a little over half of the watch hours. You need 4,000, and I have 2,226. So I'm only a little over halfway there. I got a long way to go public watch hour wise. And that's kind of one reason I've been that's actually one of the reasons I've been uploading a ton onto this channel recently, is because I'm trying to get more videos out there so I can get my watch hours up. And I know it's supposed to be better to release one high quality video every once in a while than it is to release a bunch of smaller videos. But to be honest, I don't really have the time or energy for like one big, huge fucking H3 edited level type thing, you know? I'm not fucking iDubbbz. I'm also not that funny or creative. But I don't have any community guideline strikes, so that's good at least. I just need more watch hours. That's all I need. But, I don't get many views on the B3 Productions channel, and I have less than 700 subs. I think I have 611 subs. No community strikes. I had one once because of a parody video that got taken down where I was making fun of rednecks. It got taken down like the moment it went live, and I got a strike for it, and I was like, wait, no, I was making fun of these people. That's why all that weird shit was in there, and YouTube was just like, no, fuck you. But that community strike's gone now. And then the Slender Happening only has a little over 100 subs, and I haven't uploaded a video to the Slender Happening in a long time. And there's only one episode left, but I don't have the money, time, or resources to film it. One day it'll happen, but it'll just be a while. It'll just be a while. We also have the Super Friends Benefits channel, which I don't even use anymore. I don't remember the last time I even looked at it. It used to basically be... It was basically going to be just a gaming channel. but I don't play video games that much. You know, I don't play video games that much. And Super Friends Benefits was getting like 1 view a video. Like nobody was watching the channel. I wasn't enjoying making the videos. So I was just like, fuck it. And I stopped posting on that channel. And now I don't even make video game videos anymore. I just stream them live on Twitch. And then after the live stream ends, I put the live stream on Patreon. Like the video recording of the live stream, I just put it on Patreon. And that's it. Yeah, because right now my Enderal Forgotten Stories series is going up on Patreon. Pretty cool stuff, Big Compass. Yeah. So yeah, I'm only using like 2 of my 4 channels right now. Yeah, the Super Friends Benefits channel, just no one was watching it, and I wasn't enjoying making the content. The Slender Happening has 1 episode left, but after that, the story's over, and I'm just never going to use the channel again, because the story's over, you know? And then you have this and B3 Productions, both of which I actively use. And I'm sure you've all noticed that, like, when I'm uploading a lot on one channel, I'm barely uploading on the other. Because right now I'm having nearly daily videos here on this channel, but the B3 Productions channel has like almost no videos going up, just like the occasional vlog. But that's it. Just like the occasional kaiju vlog or something. And that's because my hobbies kind of rotate. You know? So I'm sure you've also noticed that I'll have like on this channel, I'll upload a bunch of action figure reviews, and then I'll stop uploading action figure reviews and I'll start uploading comic book reviews. But then I'll stop uploading comic book reviews and I'll start uploading like novel reviews. And the reason for that is because I kind of just do my hobbies one at a time, because that's the only way I can afford them. Like, and that's just kind of how my brain works also. Like when I'm buying action figures, I'm not buying comic books, and I'm not buying movies, or even really watching movies much. Plus my TV at home is broken. So I need a new TV. I don't have a TV at home right now. I don't remember the last time I actually sat down and watched TV at home, because it's just been broken. It's been broken. And I just haven't gotten a new TV just because I haven't. So, yeah, like when I'm buying action figures, I'm not buying other things. And then when I'm buying comic books, I'm not buying action figures and stuff, you know? Yeah. I don't really like read novels anymore. I mostly just listen to audiobooks on Audible. Like right now I'm listening to one called The Dinosaur Lords that I've wanted to read since it came out years ago. Like I think it came out either at the end of my senior year of high school or like my first year of college or something. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, let's catch up on the chat. Did you ever watch season 5 of the Eric Andre Show? Okay, the Eric Andre Show is one of my all-time favorite TV shows. I've only seen the first 4 episodes of season 5, though. Because the seasons were going up on Hulu, and I think they stopped putting the new seasons on Hulu. Because I still haven't seen season 5 on Hulu. You know, unless it's Hulu Premium. I don't have Hulu Premium because I get my Hulu through Spotify, And if you get Hulu at a discount through Spotify, then you can't get Hulu Premium unless you uncouple them. So, because like right now, I think I'm paying like half price for Hulu with ads because it's coupled with Spotify. So I pay half price for Spotify and half price for Hulu, and it's basically buy one get one free, pretty much, you know. It's a really good deal, but a lot of things on Hulu I can't watch because it's not premium, you know. So either season 5 is premium on Hulu or on HBO Max. It's either one or the other. It might be on HBO Max because HBO Max is owned by that's Warner Brothers streaming service, you know, which is why like the MonsterVerse stuff is on there and the DC stuff is on there and whatnot because they all own that. But that's all but all the Turner Broadcasting stuff is on HBO Max as well. And who owns Adult Swim? Turner Broadcasting. So a lot of the Adult Swim shit that was on Hulu has now either been moved to premium or is just on HBO Max, right? Like Harvey Birdman, gone. I can't watch Harvey Birdman on Hulu anymore. And I fucking love Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. So you either got to get Hulu Premium or HBO Max. And I do want HBO Max. If I had internet at home, I would already have HBO Max. Because it has a shit ton of kaiju films. It's got all the DC stuff. Like, all of the DC stuff. And I'm talking about, like, old stuff, too. Like, Batman Beyond and shit's all on there, you know? It's pretty fucking wild. So yeah, I haven't seen the entirety of Season 5. Basically, to watch Season 5, I would have to purchase it, like on Amazon Prime or something. And I kind of just don't want to do that. But there's no point in me getting another streaming service if I can't even use it. Because my mom has Netflix. I just use her Netflix. I don't have my own Netflix. And there's barely anything on Netflix I want to watch anyways. Since they got rid of Power Rangers and Beetleborgs and VR Troopers and shit, I just kind of haven't cared about Netflix at all. I don't care about any of the originals. Disenchanted is pretty funny. But I can just watch that at Big Boy Chungus' house. Because he has Netflix. Hulu's got a bunch of shit I like. But remember, I get Hulu half price with Spotify, and I get Disney Plus at a discount through Verizon. So my Disney Plus is cheaper because I have Verizon, right? So that's the only reason I have those two streaming services. I had a free trial of Verve, you know? But I basically just got that to watch Harmon Quest and that one Bigfoot show, and then once I watched all that, I just got rid of it. I just canceled it. Other than that, nothing on Verve really interested me. Verve is basically just for people who like anime but don't want Crunchyroll. You just get Verve, and then all the best stuff, all the most popular stuff from Crunchyroll's on Verve. Because they're owned by the same. There's a huge fucking hair right in my Coke. All right, what else we got in the chat? Go to jail for a copyright strike. That's almost certainly not going to happen. You can go to jail for breaking copyright law, but it's very rare. So here's the thing. If you get a copyright strike on YouTube, it's probably not going to do that much, right? Like, if your video registers as copyrighted content, the thing that usually happens is whoever owns the copyright will just profit off of your video. Like, let's say you put like a Kanye West song in like a comedy video, right? Let's say you did that. So you took one of Kanye West's songs, you put it in a comedy video. What would probably happen is that video would get flagged as copyrighted content, and then Kanye West would just put ads on your video and profit off of it. That's probably what would happen. If you get a copyright strike, it's probably because you did something like uploaded a full episode of a TV show or uploaded a music video that you didn't make, you know? If you like make your own video that uses someone else's music or something, you're not going to get copyright strike for that. You're not going to be able to profit off of it, but you're almost certainly not going to get a strike for it. You're going to get a strike for like uploading a full episode of The Simpsons. Or like going into the theater and recording a movie on your phone and then posting it on YouTube, you know? That's what you're going to get a copyright strike for. And if you're kind of sued for that, which you almost certainly won't be on YouTube. Because on YouTube, they'll just go to YouTube and be like, take the video down. The video will get taken down. And then if you get enough copyright strikes, they'll take down your channel. You're not going to go to jail for copyright on YouTube. It is not going to happen. But if you're like selling bootleg DVDs of a movie, you can go to jail for that. But you're not going to go to jail for a copyright strike on YouTube. It's not going to happen. It's 100% not going to happen. They'll just take the video down. Greg from G&G, I don't know if you remember, but I actually did a lot of work to write him out of the show. You'll probably see Greg maybe just one or two more times, but I kind of wrote him out of the show for multiple reasons. One of the reasons being I didn't think he was funny. My sense of humor has just kind of changed over time. I didn't think Greg was a very funny character anymore. He was like based off of this old comedian, like this really old comedian whose name I don't even remember anymore. And I was just like, these jokes fall so flat. No one's even getting this reference. I can barely even remember what the reference is. And that's that. And then remember, Godzilla becomes king in the future. You remember the future Junior comes from, where Godzilla is the king despite not being the heir to the throne? Because Greg's his older brother, so Greg is the heir to the throne. But Godzilla's king in the future because Greg ends up having a lot of medical problems in the future. Remember, I almost called him Mini Gigan. Gigan Jr. revealed all this several years ago in episodes of G&G. Greg just ends up getting a lot of health problems and can't perform his duties in the monarchy anymore. He just can't perform his political duties. So Godzilla kind of steps up and takes his place. Remember? Because remember, there was a whole episode of G&G where, like, there was a whole episode of G&G where Gigan Jr. is talking about the future, and he says that Greg gets sick and can't do stuff anymore. And then down the line, there's another episode where Greg comes to Godzilla, and he's like, I'm supposed to go meet with the father of Ultra and do all this diplomatic shit about Monster Island, but I can't do it because I can't make the trip. I'm too ill. I physically can't make the trip. It'll make me sick. It'll make me too sick. And I don't have the energy to do it. And that's why Godzilla did that. And Godzilla only did it to get money for Gigan's family because they were in financial trouble after Gigan died. Remember, that was a whole, I think it was a 2 or 3 parter or something. I don't remember. Uh, and also, I can't voice Greg well anymore. I can't do his voice. Because years and years and years ago, when I first made the character of Greg, I was still going through puberty. So now I have a different voice than I did back then. Which is why all the characters sound different. And I can still do the Godzilla voice. It's relatively the same. Gigan's voice is relatively the same. Rodan's voice just is my regular voice, and it sounds different, but it's still like recognizably me. Whenever I try to do Greg's voice now, it just kind of comes out as Mr. Gojira's voice. The voice is really hard to do, and I can't nail it anymore. Am I going to kill him off? Probably not. He'll probably just be bedridden. You know? Because if I kill him off, I have to voice him. You know? If I'm going to do an episode where he, like, dies from his illness and shit, then I have to make it dramatic, which means he has to talk. I'm not going to fucking kill him off screen or kill him without any dialogue. Like fucking Princess, like they did the Princess Leia and shit. That's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna do that. That's fucking stupid. You know? I'm not gonna kill someone off unless I can make it dramatic. Like, I actually hate it when movies and TV shows, like when an actor leaves or an actor dies or something, and then the writers of the show are like, oh, fuck, we have to write them out of the show. Don't write them out of the show, just recast them. Just recast them, for fuck's sake. It's like in the Vampire Diaries, when the lead actress left, they just had her go into a coma. And granted, the show got better after she went into a coma, because she was a shitty fucking character. But that's just a stupid, forced thing to do, and nobody's gonna like it. Everybody's gonna hate it. Like, that's probably what they're gonna do to Black Panther, because Chadwick Boseman died. And Chadwick... And I can see how you might think it's disrespectful to recast a character of an actor who died in the same continuity. I can see why someone would think that's disrespectful. But I think that getting rid of the character that they made everybody love is even more disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like, what's more disrespectful? Recasting the actor so that the character that they made popular can live on, you know, and then a part of them can live on as well? Or killing off a character when the actor is killed off so that all the work that they put into the character was nothing. Chadwick Boseman was perfect as Black Panther. Yeah. But if Black Panther dies because Chadwick Boseman died, then what was the point? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Because now if they stop having T'Challa Black Panther, it's like all the work he put into Black Panther was almost for nothing. And it wasn't for nothing because the movie was very good. Civil War was good. It's my favorite MCU movie. Black Panther was really good. And it was and it's super iconic for the African American community. Black Panther had one of the best MCU villains. We were talking about that earlier in the stream. Killmonger was a great villain. He was a good example of one of those villains that's like, they have a point, like the point they make is very good, but the way they're going about it is evil. You know what I mean? So yeah, like recasting can be disrespectful if it's done wrong. Because like if you recast them, and the character changes a lot, that could be disrespectful. Like if they, like, because Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther was like he cracked jokes, but overall he was a serious character. You know, he just kind of had to learn some responsibility a bit. But then he was good to go. And then, like, if they recast him and then the character was was written completely different, that would be disrespectful. But if you write the character the same and recast them, I don't think that's disrespectful. You see what I mean? But getting rid of the character because the actor died, like, if someone came up to me and was like, hey, when you die, no one else is ever going to be allowed to play Safari Sam, I would be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You know what I mean? Like, the series that I worked so hard on, it's just never allowed to continue because I died? Would it be the same? No. But it would be there. I would want it to live on. Like, when Tolkien died, you know, like, he had family members finish his last book. Do you think Tolkien would rather the book that he put hours upon hours, days upon days, years upon years of work into? Do you think he would rather have that book go unpublished or be finished by somebody else? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you think Chadwick Boseman would rather Black Panther stop being in movies than be recast? Because if I was known for playing an iconic character and I knew I was dying, I would be like, recast me. 100% recast me. Because I want that character to live on. Because if the character lives on, it's like a part of me is living on. That being said, CGI versions of dead actors and like holograms of dead musicians at concerts, I think that's the most disrespectful shit in the world and should never be done. And also, it's legally iffy. So, like, oftentimes the next of kin of those dead artists, like, aren't paid like they're supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like, when they had fucking CGI Tarkin in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, I thought that was fucking disgusting. I was like, how dare you fucking CGI Peter Cushing in here? How dare you fucking do that? And it pissed me off. The CGI Leia, I was fine with that in the same movie because it was still Carrie Fisher. She was still alive, and they were just de-aging her with CGI. Like, that's different. Because that's like something the actor consents to. Or, you know, something that they at least get paid for. But like, Tupac's hologram and all that shit, that's fucking disrespectful as hell. That's shitty. I don't think recasting is disrespectful as long as the character stays the same. Or at least develops like they were going to. As long as you treat the character the same way you would have with the previous actor. And of course, I'm not saying anyone who's recast shouldn't bring their own thing, because no two actors are going to play a character exactly the same way unless the second actor is intentionally trying to be like the first. And I'm not going to lie, any actor who fills Chadwick Boseman's shoes is going to try to be just like him because his Black Panther was so iconic. You know, that's one thing that the MCU just consistently does right is casting. I'm not going to say I'm a fan of every MCU casting because I'm not, you know. But actually, there are a few that I would dispute actually, but you know, I think it all is going to work out. I think it's all going to work out. I think making a CGI version of Chadwick Boseman and killing them on screen or killing them off screen would be far more disrespectful than trying to continue his legacy. Yet replacing Terrence Howard was a good move because I don't really like Terrence Howard. You know? And to be honest, I think it's Terrence Howard who maybe didn't want to come back. I don't know the story behind it. I have no clue why. And to be honest, I don't care because I actually think Don Cheadle is like a super great actor. He was nominated for an award for his part in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which was pretty fucking stupid because he was in it for like a few minutes. I don't know. But Don Cheadle's a pretty fucking incredible actor. Hotel Rwanda is a fucking great movie, dude. That is a great film. You know, it was a greed thing. Well, to be honest, Robert Downey Jr. was pretty greedy in his contracts, too. Like, RDJ threatened to leave, like, after the first Avengers movie. Unless they, like, doubled his pay. And I think they did. I think they just gave him everything he wanted. I think they did it because if you look at the numbers, any MCU movie with Robert Downey Jr. in it made 60% more money than ones that didn't have RDJ in them. 60%. That's a fuck ton. That's a lot. You know? And honestly, Marvel kind of could make anyone a star. I think that's kind of slipping. I think the MCU is actually probably going to die in a year or two. I think it'll just be gone. Maybe not gone, but like lower budget, and it's not going to be, no one's going to be interested in it. It might move to comics, like just continuing the story through the comics. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. But I think that the MCU probably should have just ended after Endgame. The MCU probably should have just fucking ended after Endgame. It would have been such a nice, neat little bow. I think the MCU should have ended on Endgame. I honestly do. As much as I loved WandaVision, and I really liked The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I kind of just don't care anymore. I don't care about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I don't care about The Eternals, which is also not being marketed as a superhero movie. It's being marketed as some kind of high-concept sci-fi thing. I think the MCU should just ended. It had a 10-year run with unprecedented success. And I feel like they're just going to drive it into the ground. You know? I kinda am sick of cinematic universes for the most part. The only cinematic universe I want to see continue is the MonsterVerse. You know, I think DC made a really smart move deciding to just axe continuity. DC stopped caring. I hear the new Suicide Squad movie isn't in continuity with Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad, and that's a good call. That's a good call. Because DC in the comics, for the past few decades, has kind of been known for their rich multiverse, you know? Because they got like Red Sun and Gotham by Gaslight and like Flashpoint and all these cool like alternate reality stories, you know? All this cool shit. And I think DC just being like, fuck it, the movies are just going to be in whatever continuity we feel like from now on. And I think that's a good thing, because DC shouldn't have tried to make a cinematic universe in the first place. They're just too late on the game. I don't know if any of you know what the genre cycle is. It's actually something I've talked about a lot on both of my active channels. So the genre cycle is basically just a circle about what's popular. See you, Darth Vader 21. Have a good one. So it'll start with like maybe a movie will get it'll start here, and a movie will get popular. That for the current genre cycle is superheroes. That movie was Iron Man. Iron Man is really popular, so a bunch of superhero movies started getting made. And it wasn't just Iron Man, because Iron Man and The Dark Knight both came out kind of right at the same time, and they were both really, really, really good. If just one of them had come out and the other one never existed, the superhero boom probably wouldn't have happened without both of them happening at the same time. Because I honestly don't think without Nolan's Batman trilogy, I think a lot of people wouldn't even have given Iron Man a chance, because he was like a D-list throwaway character at the time. So it starts with one or two movies really taking off in the same genre. Then that genre becomes popular. Lots of people start making them movies in that genre, and they're all relatively unique from each other, but then they start becoming kind of cookie cutter, you know? It's basically the same movie over and over, because like, if you look at them plot-wise, Iron Man, Ant-Man, Thor, Doctor Strange, they're all almost exactly the same movie. Every single one of them are almost exactly the same. All of them. So they kind of just start getting repetitive. And at that point, people kind of start getting tired of them, because there are so many of them are being made so quickly, and people start to get sick of them. And then that's when parodies start. So when people start getting sick of the popular genre, then it starts getting parodied to hell. And we've seen a good bit of superhero parody stuff pop up recently. Some stuff that's even self-parody. We just see a lot of the things going on there. And then it just kind of ends. After the parodies run their course, the genre ends. But then the cycle starts anew with something else. Because right now, the genre cycle is about to renew. Superhero films are coming to an end, and, oddly enough, monster films are what's being popular right now. Monster films are starting to become far, far, far more popular than superhero movies. They're being better received critically. It was like ever since about like let's say like the early 20 teens, maybe mid 20 teens, monsters have started taking off. Like, you got the Monsterverse, so those all they make a profit. They're not like huge. GVK was huge. In fact, Godzilla vs. Kong performed so well that it saved movie theaters. The only reason movie theaters aren't out of business right now is because Godzilla vs. Kong did so well. Then you have the Quiet Place series, which just had its second installment. Fucking fantastic films. You got Colossal, Pacific Rim, tons of monster movies coming out. We had we had a new Mummy, we had a new Dracula just a while back. Just so many new monster films pop. Not just kaiju, even though kaiju are popular again right now. I mean, we have a Godzilla revival in Japan as well, with Shin and the anime trilogy and Singular Point and etc. But it's just like monsters are the thing. And I think that's because the world is so kind of scary right now, And monster films often tend to be popular when horrible things are happening in the world. Like, if you look at the history of cinema, at times when monster movies and horror films were really popular, it was when bad things were happening. Because, like, the horror film genre was created when World War II started. Coincidence? No, absolutely not. When did slasher films get popular? When we had the highest amount of serial killers. That's weird. During the era in American history where we had the most serial killers, horror movies with human killers became the popular thing. Coincidence? No. And now we have like a shit ton of political unrest. Climate change is fucking us in the ass. There's a pandemic. So things are bad. Things are really bad yet again. And once again, monster movies are back. Because things are bad. I hate that things have to be bad for my favorite genre of movie to be popular. But that's just how it happens. That's just how it happens, But it's whatever. It's all whatever. It looks like there's really only one viewer left right now. I think it's you, Mason Reyes. I think I'm going to stay on for a bit longer. In about an hour, I probably need to go to bed. I have to be up very early. I got like a full 8-hour day at the museum tomorrow. I'm going to be working my fucking ass off because it's the anniversary of the museum. So it's going to be super, super busy. And the weekends are always crazy busy, but since it's the anniversary and there's like, discounts and sales and stuff going on, it's gonna be absolutely fucking insane. It's gonna be probably the hardest work day I've had there yet. But I'll probably still enjoy it. Can Gamera get a rebooted movie? Gamera deserves a reboot. Gamera 100% deserves a reboot. Now is the time. We're in a monster movie boom and a kaiju renaissance. I can confidently say we are in a kaiju renaissance right now. The country known for kaiju films, Japan, is actively making them. And they're popular in the United States and China right now. Because China and the United States have the biggest film audiences. So the Chinese and United States film audiences are kind of what decide what movies get made. Just because the biggest film industry in the world is the one here in the States, and then the biggest population in the world is the one in China. So, there's a shit ton of them to see movies, honestly. Yeah, I've made several videos about Gamera in the Monsterverse. I've made videos on reasons why Gamera would be perfect for it. In fact, on the second channel, my two most recent videos on the second channel are both Gamera Monsterverse videos. Because I made a video talking about why Gamera is perfect for the Monsterverse. Because the Monsterverse kind of has heroic monsters that you cheer on, and Gamera's almost always been that. So he's really a perfect fit, but I don't think Toho would let Gamera and Godzilla be in a cinematic universe like that. I don't think the respective rights owners for either of those monsters would let it happen. I honestly don't. Plus, no one... I don't know. Also, the Monsterverse kind of relies on monsters that already have recognition. The Monsterverse doesn't seem... Like, they obviously don't want to make solo films for original monsters. That seems like something the Monsterverse, Legendary, and Warner Brothers have zero intention of doing. So if they're not going to do that, they need to license monsters. Which means Gamera is the next obvious choice, but it's not going to happen. I'm confident it's not going to happen, even though it's perfect. And then I also made a video pitching a Gamera movie, basically saying what the Gamera movie in the Monsterverse could be about. And then I also made another video pitching a Godzilla vs. Gamera movie, and what it could be about as well. I feel like the Monsterverse should probably also have Rodan and Mothra solo films. Because they're both kaiju that got their big breaks from solo films. Rodan had a solo film in 56. Mothra's solo film was in what? 63? The Mothra solo film came out in 63, I think. And Mothra's had 3 other solo films since then. Mothra has 4 solo films because she has the Rebirth of Mothra 90s trilogy. And it's like, just fucking... You had the rights to Rodan and Mothra. They might still have them. I don't know. But Rodan was alive at the end of King of the Monsters. And in the King of the Monsters credits, there is an Easter egg saying that another Mothra egg has been found. So Mothra and Rodan are both still fucking there. And they deserve solo films. We all know Mothra could carry a solo film. She's done it 4 times with great success. And I feel like most people say Mothra is their favorite kaiju. I hear people say Mothra is their favorite more than I hear them say Godzilla. That's true. For both men and women. Mothra is fucking just dope. Everyone loves Mothra. I can maybe understand not giving Rodan a solo film, especially with the way he was portrayed in King of the Monsters, where he was... Because he was kind of just written as a henchman. Like, he's acting all tough when he first shows up. But then he gets his ass beat and just kind of becomes Ghidorah's simp. Rodan's kind of a henchman. I understand him not having a solo film in the Monsterverse, but he should have another solo film in Japan for sure. For sure. But Mothra could easily carry a solo film in the Monsterverse. Easily. And the Monsterverse needs more monsters. Maybe rebooting, because I made a vlog on this channel, I think, about the best way to incorporate Pacific Rim into the Monsterverse. Because I know Pacific Rim, I know that the multiverse is crucial to the story of Pacific Rim. Like, the kaiju that invade Earth are from another dimension. That's the whole thing. And I always hear people say, oh, it would be super easy to cross over Pacific Rim with the Monsterverse because there's already dimension crossing established in Pacific Rim. They could just cross into the Monsterverse dimension. But you remember, when GVK came out, everybody complained about all the sci-fi tech in Godzilla vs. Kong. People complained that there was sci-fi technology in a kaiju movie where they were happy to see a giant robot cyborg. But that was the only sci-fi tech they wanted, apparently. It didn't make sense. The people that complained about the sci-fi tech in GVK are one, just like, you went to see a sci-fi movie and you're complaining about it having sci-fi tech in it. That's really stupid. And two, like some people, and this criticism makes a bit more sense, but they were like, oh, that level of technology didn't exist in the other MonsterVerse films, you know, because, like, there was sci-fi technology in King of the Monsters, but it seems like everyone was like, oh, the sci-fi tech in King of the Monsters looks like something that they could feasibly create between, like, the San Francisco attack and the events of this movie, you know, like the events of the first and second movie. And then they were like, oh, but GVK, oh, there's too much sci-fi tech in it. Well, if you would have paid attention to the storyline in Godzilla vs. Kong, you would have heard them talk about all the conspiracy theory shit. That, because you remember, like, the main characters were conspiracy theorists, and the conspiracy, part of the conspiracy, was that all this sci-fi tech exists and exists, a lot of it even before kaiju were discovered, and it was just kept secret from the public so that corporations could monopolize it. If you would have paid attention to the things the characters were saying, and not just looking at your phone until the monsters started fighting, you would have noticed that. But people didn't, you know? So, like, that was the whole point of the film, was that high-tech stuff was being kept from people. That was a major plot point. But that just went over people's heads. It's because people went to the theater and they watched the fights and they didn't pay attention to anything else. And not that I can blame them, because the story was pretty fucking terrible. I'm not going to sit here and pretend Godzilla vs. Kong was a well-written film, because it wasn't. It had a terrible story. It just did. But it was visually spectacular, and it made sense within the context of itself for the most part. I also hope that they use the Hollow Earth more, Mason. There was rumors of a Son of Kong remake within the Monsterverse. I think I did a vlog on how that could be done. I don't remember which channel it was on, but I did vlog about how they could do Son of Kong in the Monsterverse. And basically I said, if they make Son of Kong, it should be in the Hollow Earth. It should take place in entirety in the Hollow Earth. And even if they don't make Son of Kong, they should make another King Kong solo film. Because, like, Kong Skull Island before GVK came out was the highest grossing Monsterverse film, and easily the best Monsterverse film. Out of the 4 Monsterverse movies, in my opinion, Kong Skull Island is the best out of all of them. It deserves a sequel. Godzilla got a sequel and a half, and Kong just got a half. So it's his turn. He needs a sequel. Whatever the Kong sequel is, it should take place in the MonsterVerse. Not in well, it should take place in the MonsterVerse, obviously. But I misspoke. What I meant to say was it should take place in the Hollow Earth, because that's where Kong's home is. So it should just be down there, you know? I don't know why we're talking about the MonsterVerse on the Safari Sam. It doesn't matter. I'm happy to talk about anything. I just want to talk. It doesn't matter what you ask me questions about. But yeah, Kong deserves another film. And if the MonsterVerse wants to continue, they either need to license more monsters for solo films that aren't Godzilla and Kong, or they need to make their own. And I don't think they're going to make their own. So they need to get Gamera. They need to reboot Pacific Rim, I think, within the MonsterVerse. Because the point I was trying to make earlier was, if they have Pacific Rim crossover through a dimensional gateway, it's not gonna fucking people are gonna think that's ridiculous because they thought the sci-fi tech in GVK was ridiculous. So they'll think that's ridiculous too. Also, they kind of have different tones, the MonsterVerse and Pacific Rim. Not gonna lie. And, you know, it would just be better for the franchise as a whole. I think we need more original monsters, maybe not as the title monster, but as baddies to fight. You know, I mean, we've had the big five for Godzilla. You've used Godzilla, who they need to renegotiate a deal with so they can keep using him because the MonsterVerse kind of falls apart without Godzilla. They used King Ghidorah, Mothra, Rodan, and Mechagodzilla. They used all of the big five. Honestly, as much as I would like to see like Gigan and Baron and Anguirus in the MonsterVerse, they don't need to license anymore Godzilla monsters. I think Rodan should probably make a new appearance at some point. I don't think he will. I think he's just going to disappear and we're never going to see him again. Mothra definitely needs a solo film in the MonsterVerse. I think she could handle it. I mean, but Jesus Christ. They have to license more monsters or make their own. They got to do something. They can't. If it's just Godzilla and Kong, it's not really a cinematic universe. It's just kind of one crossover. That's not a cinematic universe. That's just a crossover. For it to be a universe, there have to be multiple points, you know? They should reboot Gamera within the MonsterVerse. They should reboot Pacific Rim within the MonsterVerse. And they should reboot Cloverfield within the MonsterVerse. They just need more. Oh, and also welcome to Boss. I didn't mention your name a second ago, but welcome to the chat. Okay, what'd you guys ask me? Have you read Terminator vs. RoboCop comic book? No, but I would like to. I don't really like the Terminator. The first film I felt like was fun, but not really anything that really interested me. The second film was really good. The third film was fucking shit. Terminator Salvation was really boring. And then I haven't really seen any other Terminator stuff out of those except for those first four films. It's very odd. Those are the only ones I've seen. Because I don't care about Terminator. Kind of in our modern day, Terminator's kind of generic, time travel-y robot taking over humanity stuff. At this point, Terminator's kind of become just the rest there. It's just kind of a cliche now. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a big Terminator fan. That being said, I fucking love RoboCop. I think RoboCop is kick ass. Like the first RoboCop movie, I honestly think is underrated. Like I know it's really popular, and I still think it's underrated. Like 80s action films like that were never that political. Most most people don't realize how political RoboCop is. It's a satire. Like it's a political satire, and I think a lot of people just don't care about that aspect of RoboCop, which is very odd because it was supposed to be kind of an action comedy, and no one really thinks about it like that. I don't know. I think RoboCop's underrated. RoboCop 2 sucks ass. It's fucking terrible. And then RoboCop 3, I've seen it, but I don't remember much about it, to be completely honest. I've seen RoboCop 3. I kind of remember having fun watching it, but I like watched it with friends, and even if you watch a bad movie with friends, you know, you enjoy it still because you're watching it with your friends, and worst case scenario, you can make fun of it. Yeah, every single time I talk to Big Boy Chungus, he quotes RoboCop. Big Boy Chungus is always saying, "I'd buy that for $1." It's probably his favorite movie quote of all time. Really good stuff. We got fucking yeah. I never saw the RoboCop reboot though. It kind of the reason I never watched the RoboCop reboot is because it seemed like it wasn't a political satire, and I was like, it just kind of looked like a generic action movie, and I was like, without the satire, RoboCop's kind of just stupid. If RoboCop's not making a political, it's kind of then it's in that if that case, it's kind of just dumb. But yeah, so even though I don't like Terminator, I actually do really like RoboCop, and I want to read more RoboCop comics, and I would read RoboCop versus Terminator because it's got like the Terminator RoboCop and like the Terminator dogs and shit in it. I've seen the action figures and stuff from NECA. Maybe I'll read it one day, but probably not, just because honestly, I don't really care about Terminator. I would like to read some RoboCop comics, though. I bet that'd be fun. Right now, I'm really just reading monster comics. I haven't been reading many superhero comics. Oh. Mostly just reading monster comic books, and that's it. Like IDW is printing Godzilla comics again, and I am gonna make a video about that on the second channel, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I am getting the new IDW Godzilla stuff. Because right now, IDW has a mini series that I think is ending soon. It's kind of a more family-friendly Godzilla book. It looks neat. I have some of the variant covers that are just like screenshots from the movies. I haven't read it yet because I don't have issue 1. My friend who owns a comic shop ordered me issue 1, and he has it in store for me. It's behind the counter waiting for me in my box. But the store is like the opposite direction from the direction I commute to work. So that means that I kind of don't. It's not convenient for me to go there and get the comic, but I don't want to buy the comic online because he's my friend and I want to support his comic book store, you know? I did buy issues 2 and 3 for him. I think issue 4 might be out. I don't think issue 5 is out. And then IDW has that miniseries, and when it ends, it's just over, unless they do a sequel or something. But they really only IDW really only did sequels with their ongoing Godzilla titles, and they mostly just did miniseries that were their own continuity, which I kind of preferred, to be completely honest. But IDW also has this quarterly Godzilla comic, and most comics come out monthly. Yeah, Monsters and Protectors, that's what it is. And I think the other one is maybe called Godzilla Rivals or something. I don't remember. But it's a quarterly book. So instead of coming out once a month, it comes out just 4 times a year, once every quarter. And I have the first one, which is Versus Hedorah, and they specifically did Versus Hedorah because of Hedorah's anniversary. Hedorah just had like its 50th anniversary or something. How old is Hedorah specifically? Hedorah just had a big anniversary. And I did buy the Godzilla Store exclusive retro colored movie monster series Hedorah, and I will be reviewing it on this channel. I actually have a couple Godzilla Store exclusive figures that I need to review, because I got the Jet Jaguar as well. The flying Jet Jaguar. Flying. Huh. But yeah, Monsters and Protectors. I couldn't think of the name because I hadn't read it yet. But yeah, and I have the Hedorah issue of the quarterly. I was kind of thinking, like, I'll get all the single issues for Monsters and Protectors, and I have the Hedorah issue, but I don't think I'm gonna read all of the quarterly books single issue. I think I'm just gonna get the trades, and I know it'll take forever for the trades to come out because it's a quarterly book, and it always takes forever for quarterly book trades to come out. But quarterly books are usually thicker as well, so I feel like it'd be worth the wait, But I do have the Hedorah one, and I love how Godzilla is drawn as a Showa Godzilla in that comic, because they always draw him as either Heisei or Millennium. I feel like most IDW comics kind of draw him kind of as either Godzilla 2000 or maybe more like the 2002, 2003. I feel like is how he's usually drawn for IDW, because in the IDW Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters book, he kind of looks GVK-ish. He kind of looks like GVK Godzilla a bit in that book, if I remember correctly. And then in the next ongoing, just called Godzilla, I think he maybe looked Heisei. Was he Heisei in that book? Did he look Heisei? I can't remember. He might have been more Godzilla 2000 in that book. It's been so long since I've read it, but I feel like it was maybe a bit more Heisei. And then, so then in Godzilla Rulers of Earth, he was 2002. He was 2002 Godzilla. I don't remember if he got the scar to make him 2003 or some point. I haven't read those books since the last time I reviewed them. But yeah, he was definitely 2002 Godzilla in that book. So we never see Showa Godzilla in comics. Ever. He's always drawn as either Heisei or like early 2000s. Which is still technically Heisei era, but not Heisei series. So yeah, we never see him in a Showa look anymore. And I think it was nice and refreshing to see that, because the Showa looks just have such charm, And they're such charming looks. Yeah, exactly, The Boss. That's exactly what I meant. I haven't read that comic yet either. I really should. I kind of just bought them and then I didn't read them. I will do it. I've just been... Okay, so most of my hobby time is either spent making Safari Sam or writing my dinosaur book. You know? If I'm not making Safari Sam or writing my dinosaur book, I'm probably working or running errands or like doing chores or something. My free time is spent either making Safari Sam and other YouTube videos or that. So I haven't been reading a lot of comics recently. Hello, SS Blue Jordan. Nice to see you on the stream. I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. Let me. I don't know where I'm gonna put my notes. I'll put them over here. I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Ooh. Oh. Ooh, yeah. Let me readjust. I kind of want to lay a different way. Fuck me. That's what happens when you eat an entire pizza by yourself in one sitting and then chug 2 cans of Coke Zero. You burp like a fucking orc. Woof. Woof indeed. The thing about Monsters and Protectors, well, I can't, even if I wanted to read Monsters and Protectors right this very second, I couldn't do it because I'm missing issue 1. Right? But also, since it's a mini series, I'm kind of just waiting till every issue is out. Is issue 5 out? I honestly don't know if the last issue is out or not. But I'm probably not gonna read Monsters and Protectors until I have every issue in hand, you know? And then I'll read it. I'll just read it all at once. But the Godzilla rivals, I don't think they connect. I think they're each just one big fight or something. I could read the Hedorah one whenever. I need to just do it. Because I need to make a comic book haul video for this channel. And I like to read the comics before I do the haul videos so that I can do like little mini reviews of the comics in the haul. You know, just to kind of give it a little more content. Because if I do a comic book haul without reading the comic books first, then I'm basically just showing off the cover art, you know? And that's kind of all I'm doing. And that's boring content. You know, if I don't watch haul videos. It's just not something I'm really interested in. Unless it's like, no, I can't think of a reason I would like a haul. I'm just not into haul videos. Even though I make them, it's not the type of thing that I really watch. Issue 5 is out. That's good to know. I need to find it somewhere then. But, What was I talking about? I fucking don't remember. Yeah, comic book haul videos. It's just, I don't want to just show you images of the comic and then be like, that's it, bye. I want to be able to tell you about the comic I'm showing you. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Because I have a bunch of Power Rangers comics I need to show in a haul video. I got a bunch of Rick and Morty comics, Godzilla, a few other things. I think I have an Aliens comic, maybe a Green Lantern that I need to show off. I'm also going to do a video on lots of my signed comic book art and comics and stuff, because I've recently started framing all my signed comic books and everything. So once they're all fully framed, I'm going to do a video showing them off. Because I did a huge haul video on the second channel a little while back, where I just had a ton of boxes all with all kinds of different stuff. Gaming stuff, action figures, comic books, art, just all kinds of cool stuff just in one big unboxing. And I got like a bunch of signed comic book art for like free that was included with comics I bought that I didn't know I was going to get. It was just like given to me as a gift. And I was like, holy shit, holy shit. So I got all that framed, and I got my signed picture Matt Frank did for me. I got a signed Matt Frank print framed. I need to frame my signed comic books still. And then I think that's all. I need to frame my signed Godzilla Legends #1, and I need to frame my signed I have a signed Green Lantern comic, but I don't remember the issue. It's a Kyle Rayner one from the 90s. That's why I can't remember the issue, because I haven't read that run in its entirety. But it's signed by Ramos. And then my Godzilla Legends is cover art B, and cover art B was by Bob Eggleton, and the interior art for issue 1 was done by Matt Frank. So I have it signed by Bob Eggleton and Matt Frank. And they both signed it for free. They didn't even charge me, which was really cool of them. Like, they both signed it at G-Fest. And at most conventions I've been to, if you want an autograph from somebody, you have to pay for it. And that makes sense. That makes sense, because it's a convention. They're scheduled to be there for work reasons. They're there to make money and promote themselves and stuff. But neither of them charged me for a signature. Neither of them. And I thought that was really cool of them both. Matt Frank charged me for the picture, because he sold me a print of one of his pictures. It's the Ultra Brothers fighting Ghidorah on the moon. It's really cool. He signed it. But yeah, I just bought the picture, and he signed the picture for free, and he signed my comic for free. Very cool of him. And very cool of Bob Eggleton, also. I would have gladly paid them. But I didn't have to. Didn't have to. I have paid for signatures before, though. I paid for Stephen Amell's signature. You know, he played Oliver Queen in Arrow. He's in that new wrestling show that's going to be on, like, Starz streaming service or something. I don't know what the fuck it's premiering on, but it kind of looks good. I'm not going to lie. I don't like wrestling, either real or fake wrestling, but the show looks good. Yeah, I have his autograph somewhere. It's like lost. I have no clue where it is. And I'll probably get, because there are like some Power Ranger autographs I want. At the end of the month, I'm going to a Power Ranger convention, as long as COVID's not, fucking with that. I'm vaccinated and I'll wear a mask and everything, but we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, someone gave me Power Ranger Con tickets for my birthday, and I really, really want to get David Yost's autograph, the Mighty Morphin Blue Ranger, because in my opinion, he was the only Mighty Morphin Ranger that was actually a well-written character. Have I ever gotten an autographed signature from a boxer? No, I don't watch sports. I don't like sports. So an autographed picture from a boxer, I'd probably just sell it. If someone gave me, like, if a boxer signed a picture of them and gave it to me, I would probably list it on eBay the next day and sell it. Because I don't care. That would be like if the entire cast of Sex and the City like signed a promotional photo and gave it to me. I would be like, wow, a collector would pay a ton for this. I don't want it. And I would sell it. If Peyton Manning or like Mike Tyson gave me their autograph, I'd sell it probably. Well, that's actually not entirely true. Mike Tyson is probably the only boxer whose autograph I would keep, but only if he signed a picture from the Adult Swim Mike Tyson Mysteries show. That's probably the only boxer autograph I would keep. Mike Tyson, but instead of signing a picture of him as a boxer, it would be a picture of him in his Adult Swim cartoon. Or some memorabilia from the cartoon signed by him. That's the only time I think I would ever be interested in a boxer's signature, because I think Mike Tyson Mysteries is a really fucking funny show. I hope they make more. It's fucking good, and I love Adult Swim, big animation fan, etc., etc. Yeah, I'm not the biggest signature person either, to be completely honest. Like, when I got Stephen Amell's signature, it was after the season 2 finale of Arrow. So, like, that's when Arrow was, like, at its peak. That's when Arrow was, like, the best it would ever be. And also, it was, like, one of the biggest things on television at the time. You know? It was kind of right at the height of the superhero boom. Because, like, right now, I wouldn't care about his autograph right now. Like, if I saw Stephen Amell at a con tomorrow, I wouldn't get in line for his autograph, even if I didn't already have it. Because Arrow sucks ass after season 2. Arrow has what? 8 seasons? Is that right? 8 or 9 seasons? And every single one of them after season 2 sucks ass? I wouldn't care. I would not care. But yeah, that's because that was when Arrow was at its height, and my friends and I at the time were like having Arrow watch parties. Like whenever a new episode of Arrow came out on like Wednesdays or whenever it was, we would have a watch party for Arrow, where we'd all go to one of our houses and we'd watch Arrow, and then we'd go home. So Arrow was like a big part of my life at the time. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's 8 seasons, because I think season 7 is like the prison season, and then season 8 is the one that Crisis on Infinite Earths happens during. Fucking Arrow sucks ass. Ugh. Oh well. But yeah, and then a lot of my autographed stuff. Okay, so I have several autographed things, and I'm going to go through them, and I'm going to tell you how I got them all, because most of them I didn't even ask for the autograph. So I just explained Stephen Amell's autograph. I got that because Arrow was like a huge... I got that when Arrow was the biggest it would ever be, and because all my friends and I were all like doing Arrow stuff together. Arrow was really special for all of us. And then the Matt Frank and Bob Eggleton one I got because it was free. Because I went to that con only expecting to get Matt Frank's autograph on the comic and pay him to do that. Then he didn't charge me. And Matt Frank is the one that told me Bob Eggleton was in the other room signing. I didn't even know Bob Eggleton was at the con. So it's a good thing I brought the Bob Eggleton variant. Because the A cover isn't Bob Eggleton art. Which was really lucky. Really lucked out. I think my other Legends #1 art is Arthur Adams art. Because I got the connecting covers. So the connecting cover is by Arthur Adams. So yeah, I got those autographs because I didn't charge for them, because I didn't pay for them. And then at G-Fest, I bought a picture from Matt Frank, and he was just signing anything anyone bought for free. Since they were getting it directly from him, he was just signing it. If you wanted it for free, no extra charge. So when I bought it, I didn't expect to get a signature, but I did. So that's another thing. And then my signed Green Lantern comic, that was a gift from a friend. It's a signed Green Lantern comic, and I think it's a Scottish printing of the book also, because he got it from Scotland. So that autograph was a gift. And then most of my autographs all came in the same package. So there were these comics I read as a kid there's one called Tempest, which was a vampire comic that came out when vampires were like really popular, like in the early 2000s, kind of 2010s-ish time. And there's also a comic called Totem, which was about like kids with animal-based superpowers and how they used the powers decided which afterlife their parents got sent to, heaven or hell, which was actually like a really fucking cool idea. And those were like just kind of little indie self-published comics that I really liked as a kid, but like at one point in my life when I really needed the money, I sold all of them because I had the single issues, and I sold all of them, and I regretted it. So when I had more money, I bought the trade paperbacks directly from the writer. And when they came in the mail, not only were both the trade paperbacks signed, even though I didn't ask for a signature, they were both signed by him, by the writer. And I got a 2-sided poster signed by the writer as well. One side was Tempest, the book I ordered, and then the other side was like about this Nikola Tesla kind of pulpy steampunk adventure comic. And he signed the Tesla side and not the side for the comic I ordered, which didn't make any sense. But it was a free gift, so I can't complain. So he sent a poster I didn't order, signed. He sent a print of comic art for some kind of Nurse Killjoy, or some kind of comic about like a murdering nurse or something. She's like an anti-hero nurse or a serial killer nurse or something. I don't know what it's about. But he sent like a print of art from that was signed as well. So that's 4 signed things, which is most of my signed stuff. 2 of them I didn't ask for. And then 2 of them I didn't even know were going to be signed. So really only 2 of I have several signed things, but really only 2 of them I asked for the signature on. Because the only other signed thing that I have that I can think of is this Kaiju ABC coloring book, which I know sounds like a weird thing to have. But when I was in college at the University of Georgia, there was a comic shop like 15-minute walk from my dorm. And one day at the comic shop, there was a writer there, a writer and artist. And he wrote and published a Kaiju ABC coloring book. And I bought it just because it was there. And I was like, that's neat. It's like, it was just a couple dollars. And it had like a kaiju for each letter of the alphabet, you know. Like Z was for Zeton and stuff, you know. R for Rodan, M for Mothra, K is for Kong. And I bought that directly from him, and he was just like, hey, do you want me to sign it? No extra charge? And I was like, sure. So, really, only two of the signed things I have, I was actually trying to get signatures with. And then all the other ones just kind of, I ended up with them either because they were gifts or because the creators offered to sign them for free. Or both. So that's how I ended up with most of my signed stuff. Because signatures aren't really a thing that I normally go for. But I have an extra Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 0 Blue Ranger helmet variant. And I really, really, really want to get David Yost's signature on that because he was actually a big inspiration to me. And just one of the best Power Ranger characters from the Sabin era. If you guys could see Safari Sam do an episode over one thing, what would it be? Like, if you got to choose what Safari Sam did the next episode over, what would it be? My dream Safari Sam episode would be like probably being on an actual fossil dig site in like Argentina. That would be my dream Safari Sam episode. Would be like an official episode at a dig site in Argentina with actual fossils and actual paleontologists, and them being like in on the joke. Like I would be goofing on the paleontologists, but they would be in on the joke. That would be like my dream Safari Sam episode. Would just be like Argentina fossil dig episode where the paleontologists were like in on the joke and they wanted me to come do the comedy there. But what would you want to see the most from Safari Sam? Like, what's the, if you could see Safari Sam do one thing, like anywhere on the planet, what would it be? Mm. Yeah, like it could be anywhere on the planet with any nature stuff that like currently exists. Like if you want me to do dinosaurs, it would have to either be with like statues or fossils or something because I have done a dinosaur episode with like animatronics and statues before for Safari Sam. But like if you could have him go to any biome, interact with any animal or any plant that currently exists, it would have, that's kind of the rule for this, is it has to be something that could actually physically be done. Ah, shit. I just got an email that Oh, I gotta have a criminal background check done for my practicum class. Shit, I don't want to do that. That's gonna cost money. And I gotta go to campus? I can't do that. Yeah, I just got bad news from school. Well, I'm gonna have to take care of that tomorrow. Fuck. Yeah, I just paid for school, and apparently I have to do a background check for my practicum class, which, makes sense, but I kind of wish I would have known that sooner. Fuck. And my professor wants me to go to campus and meet with her, but campus is 3 hours away. It's 3 hours away. And she wants me to do it next week, and I work every single day. I don't know when I would do it. Fuck. Which I guess no one has a Dream Safari Sam episode. No one replied. So I'm assuming that there just aren't any. Which is fine. If you can't think of one, that's fine. I need to go soon anyways because it's getting late and I have to be at work in a completely different city in less than 12 hours. Yeah, work's gonna be really long tomorrow. And at the museum in the gift shop, we just got a bunch of new Mosasaurus fossils. We have a bunch of new mosasaur teeth that are like this big. And I'm actually really afraid that we're gonna sell out of them before I have the chance to buy one. Because they were being priced the last time I was at work, and I hadn't been paid yet, so I couldn't have afforded them, even if they were, on the shelves. But then they were put on the shelves when I left, and it's been 2 days since then. So they've been on the shelves for 2 days, and they're a very reasonable, affordable price. And then I'm afraid because tomorrow I clock in. When do I clock in? Tomorrow I clock in before the museum opens, and I clock out at closing time. And I'll have a lunch break in there, but I'm afraid that the museum will be so busy on my lunch break that I won't be able to both eat lunch and buy a fossil, if that makes sense. Because once again, it's the anniversary of the museum, so there's like a big celebration. Plus, I'm working in 2 different departments tomorrow. That's my job at the museum. Is I just work in whatever department needs me for the day. So, like, some days I'm working in the ticket booth. Some days I'm working in the gift shop. Some days I'm an event planner. Some days I'm in the cafe. Some days I'm showing people where stuff is and doing stuff like that. Some days I'm doing customer service. Uh, some days I'm doing like inventory, things like that. Like I have a different job at the museum every day, and some days, like the first half of the day, I'll be in one department, and the second half of the day, I'll be doing a different job. But I'm afraid that the museum will be so packed because one, it's already packed on weekends because that's when everyone's off work and school. And then two, there's discounts on everything and there's a big celebration because it's the museum's birthday. So I'm afraid all the fossils are going to sell out because we only had a few of them. I don't want them to sell out. I want one. Wouldn't you like to see Safari Sam do an episode on a big-ass mosasaur tooth? Bigger than my thumb? Maybe not bigger than my thumb. Much wider than my thumb. Maybe not as long as my thumb. No, probably as long as my thumb. I just want to make more Safari Sam. Sue me, Right, doggy? Who's good dog? Yeah, a Safari Sam episode in the Arctic would be very different. Because most of my Safari Sam episodes are kind of filmed in like forests or fields. The ones that actually are out in nature. So one in like Antarctica or something in like a tundra. That would be a really cool, unique episode. Like maybe looking at reindeer, penguins, polar bears, wolves, something crazy like that. It'll never happen. Going to like the poles or something would be not only way too expensive but way too dangerous as well. It just wouldn't happen. But you know what? It's almost 10, and I really need to go number 2. And I am tired because I did work with high schoolers all day long at my second job. So, but yeah, an episode like that, like an episode in Alaska, I think would be really cool. Like if I could ever afford a trip to Alaska. See, here's the thing: is I wouldn't travel to another state or something just to make a Safari Sam episode. Like I would travel to like a zoo or a national park or something within my own state, like some place where I could like drive there in a day, film the episode, and then come back home in the same day. Like I would do that, but out of state, something out of state like that. I would have to be out of state for another reason, and then just be able to do a Safari Sam while I was there. Like that's why I have a couple episodes in Alabama, because that's where Alabama's where I like to go on vacation. I like to go to the Gulf for my vacation. And there just happens to be a zoo there and a beach full of creatures and bird watching trails. So I've filmed a couple Safari Sams there because I was just already there, But I'm not going to travel to like Louisiana to shoot a Safari Sam in the swamps. Because I'm not going to make any money off Safari Sam. That'd be a huge expensive trip. It wouldn't be worth it. I would have to go there for another reason as well. But that's it. I actually really got to go number 2. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. We've got a new episode of Safari Sam coming out in 5-6 days, maybe. I want to say 6 days. I kind of have my Safari Sams spaced out a week between each other currently. And it is on... It's an episode on an animal. So that is it. Thank you all once again. Thanks for sticking around so long, Mason and DeBoss. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you all next time, I guess. Oh, fuck. That was a big sneeze.